Introducing Uber Teen Accounts, an Uber account for your teen with always-on enhanced safety features. Your teen can request a ride when you can't take them. You'll get real-time notifications along the way. Your teen can feel a sense of independence. You can follow their entire route on a live tracking map. Your teen will get assigned the top-rated drivers.
Thank you.
You will get peace of mind. Add your teen to your Uber account today. Available in select locations. See app for details.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
Good afternoon, boys, girls, and MBs of all shapes, sizes, colors, and orientations. Welcome, one and all, to the only Alec Gunther stream. My name is Alec Gunther. It's so good to have you all here on the surprise stream occasion. That is you. You are everybody. Yes, indeed. Now, you may notice something may look a little bit different. Not too different, just a little bit. The camera angle, yes? It's a little different. I think it looks better where it's at, right? Now, it doesn't just look better where it's at. It comes with an added bonus. Yes, that's right. We are now rigged to the desk. We are at last rigged to the desk. No, I did not ping Discord yet. Rise now. Rise and grind, gamers. Now we may rise and grind. Alright, let me ping everybody. Thank you for reminding me. We are live with a surprise debate against an anti-abortion advocate. Starts in a half hour. Come chill until then. Boom. Done and donezo. Pretty sick though, right? Everything's just rigged now. Everything's rigged to the desk. I love it. I love it. The only problem is the lights still. So I gotta turn on another light when I do that. But it's whatever. I also kind of gotta turn on this backlight here. I think it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I think it's sick. So now I can actually be a little fit while I do this. I actually also have here. Let me grab it real quick. In my book bag, I have fitness bands that I just never use. I get them at work. Like I take them to work with me. And I could work out while I stream like this, you know? And I should start doing that. Frankly, because I'm getting a big belly. I'm also... Well, I'm on announcements, I guess, and fitness. I'm also thinking about making official stream time, scheduled streams. I would like to do it on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. and on Fridays at 2 p.m. And the reason for the hour difference is because there's an hour difference on both of those days for when boxing starts. There's a boxing place that's very close to me, and I would like to begin boxing because I'm going up in the YouTube ranks. I must prepare. I must prepare. Here, let me check React real quick. It's okay. I wish that my head were in frame a little bit better. Let me see if I can't fix that, and also get rid of this. Oh shit. Sorry, DMs. It's fine. Nothing was revealed. If it were anything revealing, I would have been in trouble, but it's fine. That was just the guy in debating. He seems good faith. That's all the DM said. That's my schedule. Hold on, someone's calling me. I think. How many squats can you do? I don't know, actually. At my peak, I was able to do like 400 and... like, not squats, mind you. This is weight. Like 425, maybe? 425 at like 2 reps, maybe. Congrats on hitting 10K. Thank you. But I couldn't do that today. My back is too bad. My knees are too bad. I don't think I'm ever going to hit that again. I'm over my peak. But it's fine. At this point, I just want to look good. That's all I care about. And also boxing. I'd like to try boxing. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I'm super happy about it. Like I said, we're going to wait until March 1st because I have stuff going on today and I have stuff going on next week. But we're going to do it. We're going to do the stream and I'm going to make sure that it fucking works too. Thankfully, we don't have to use the Dolphin emulator. I was doing something on my phone and I forget what. Oh yeah, somebody... No, nobody called me. Okay, good. But yeah, we're not going to use the Dolphin emulator because we don't need to. Both of the games are done through Steam, so it should go smoothly. I will have to download Skyrim, and we'll have to figure out whether you guys want me to play Skyrim first or Sonic Adventure 2 first. But probably Sonic first. Oh yeah, I also still got to fix this. I think I can fix it. Hold on. Crop top 0. And then bottom we'll just add 80 to that. Okay, better. That's better. That's fine. That works. Look who decided to join us. You want to say hi, baby? Oh, gotcha. Baby. Say hello. Sniff. Sniff, sniff, sniff. New streamer, who dis? I'm not new. Cats are a sign of base. Thank you. You're crazy. Why are you crazy? Why are you so crazy? Turd. Nibble. A sign of love. That's how you know she's autistic. She nibbles as a sign of love. Who's a goober? Ow! That one hurt. She went in for that one. Dang. You now have a dog's attention. Nice. Leg days every day? Nah, I hate leg day. Leg day sucks. I actually have quite I used to have quite the ass, but I don't know if I do anymore. It's definitely died back a little bit, dialed back. But it's fine. I used to try to look really good, like muscular and stuff, but now I'm working on my drip, and I've been working on other stuff for so long that like I just kind of let it fall by the wayside. But we're gonna get back to it. All right, I'm starting up boxing, and I'm gonna start using those exercise equipment bands and stuff. I would like to meal prep tomorrow, but I'm not very good at meal prepping, so I'll do my best with it, for sure. Okay, that guy should have sent me a link. We're just chilling out until the debate starts. I don't want to do any, like... Okay, here. Let me just make sure it's working. Oh, Logitech. I have a double webcam setup now. It's just so much easier. Crazy. She's still there. Are you still there? Oh yeah, you probably don't like that. I got lotion on my hands. Let me tilt this up just a bit. There we go. That's a little better. Yeah, it's tilting back down. I don't want to fuck with it too much. It's pretty precarious, not gonna lie. But I think that's a little better. What I did was, here, I'll take a picture and send it in the Discord in general. And then I'll link it here.
You've heard of the hottest boy band. Now, here comes their iconic drink. The Dunkings Iced Coffee and Munchkins Skewer. The iced coffee blends your
I love ads.
Dunkin' coffee with French vanilla and
Thank you,
vanilla
Spotify.
flavors, topped with fluffy, sweet, cold foam and a dusting of cinnamon sugar.
I'm not paying them anymore, so I can't complain. But whatever.
Skewer for the ultimate boy band beverage. Order
The cat
Dunkings
struggle is
Iced
real. I know,
Coffee
right?
and Munchkins Skewer
Now she's
today.
sitting in my chair.
Sold separately. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms and exclusions may apply.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of
Do you know?
$5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash
That's
back
crazy.
on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart
$2 cash back, huh? That's crazy, man.
Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions on limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Kid and your cash.
Now just let me pull it up on here.
Tuition and your credit card balances. You don't know how you're gonna pay for any of it. If only there were some place to turn.
So as you can
Just
see
ask
right
your
here.
Your home's got equity, and with Rocket Mortgage, you can use it to get cash quick.
So you got my monitor here, right? And the little wooden thing you see poking up is just a hat rack. And then I got the Logitech camera here, and that's just for like video calls and stuff for when I'm streaming. And then the good camera's right here, and it's rigged to a it's rigged to one of those microphone stands. It's pretty genius, not gonna lie. I was like, well, I've already got it rigged to a light post. I might as well like rig it to something that's rigged to the desk. Spotify Premium is the only subscription service I pay for. No, I like YouTube better. YouTube is like all in one anymore. Like the only thing it doesn't have is like mainstream TV shows, but even that is changing. I really do think YouTube is just going to gobble up everything. Google and YouTube. Like if they're allowed to at least. I think they'll like eventually take over Twitch and just make that their like main live streaming service. Like I don't see it going any other direction. Twitch is kind of on fire, I think. I don't think Twitch will last. Oh shit, I didn't monetize my video. Maybe the monetization will actually work today, right? Maybe it'll actually fucking work today. It didn't work last night. It detected the fucking remixed songs. Go. Okay, cool. Go. Go. That's pretty cool. You're probably right, but I already have an ad block for YouTube, and I like being able to use the Spotify app. Yeah, but the ad block for YouTube is starting to, like, get janky. A little jank, but definitely good. It's not bad, right? Like, that's what that type of camera stand is for, is to rig it to anything. It's supposed to be flexible. And it is. It's really, like, once you get it set into place, it's actually quite stable. It's a lot more stable than it was before, for sure. It's just a really cheap, like, $15 microphone stand. Whereas, like, my current microphone stand, I think is like $80. So, just to give you an idea. And then, like, the little phone stand is like $10, I think. Either $10 or $20. In any case, you get it, like, completely for, like, $40 or less. And the camera itself, obviously, is like $350 used. So, that's a different story. But, hey, there you go. So, I got all the bells and whistles now. I got a moving desk. I got a big boy mic. I got a big boy camera. It's all rigged to the moving desk. I got speakers and headphones. Like, I'm all set up. All I'm missing is a preamp for my mic. Because my mic is really quiet right now. And that's why, like, I have to be so close to it. But once I get a preamp, I can back up a little bit from it. It won't. I don't think it will like max out as much. And a big boy channel, 10,000 subscribers. That's insane. It's insane, man. I love you guys. You guys are the best. I didn't think I'd make it this far, honestly. I just thought I'd quit this. You know what? I'll be real, guys. I thought I would quit this like I did with everything else. I thought I'd tap out and get bored, but I didn't. I kept grinding. You know? So here we are. Next is 100K, boys. Here's to 100K. Here's to 100K. Well, that's the curse of ADHD, yeah, Lady Nova? Like, you start something, and it gets going a little bit, and then you just tap out. But, you know, even if I'm never as fit as I used to be, I still got there. You know, I still did it. I still looked like that, you know? For those who don't know, like, here, let me pull up where I was in my prime. I think I might have shown you guys, but I like pulling it up. The only thing is I got kind of gross acne on my arms. But I still think it's worth looking at this. Like, here's a good picture. Right there. Here's a good picture. If it'll open. Oh, I think this one's like super HD. I love the natural lighting. Thank you. Yeah, I guess this one's like super HD. It's not wanting to open. But anyway, you guys get the idea. Here's where I was probably my skinniest right here. This is from September of 2017 to March of 2018. 6-month transformation. So I know I can do it. I've done it before. It's just a matter of like biting down and doing it. You know? If I can do it, anybody can. I'll tell you that much. Oh, my bad. I X'd out all my shit. Here, let me actually go through and make sure I'm not showing anything revealing. Be responsible, right? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, we're in.
You're doing this stuff, man. You probably noticed. It's like a whole bunch of stuff you gotta worry about. Alec.
Well, hello there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you just fine. Give me just a second.
All right, give me also a second. I have to do a few things.
Yeah, no worries. Please take your time. We're scheduled for 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
That is correct.
Here, let's do this. We'll do F11 on here. Ooh, chat. Here I am. I'm gonna gobble you up. Oh. Oh. Okay, I'll be professional. Sorry.
By the way, it's very nice to meet you.
Nice
Alec.
to meet you as well. You're going to be the moderator today?
I will be.
Excellent.
I'm very excited to hear, well, both of you, actually.
Excellent. Yeah, it should be a fun time. I always love debates. And like I told him in DMs, sorry, I'm so bad at names. I promise this is not to be mean. What's his name again? James. James is, he seems very chill. He seems good faith. So I'm hoping this will be a good exchange.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a nice little setup he's got back there.
Yeah, it is. How many debates have you done?
Oh man, I have a whole playlist, but there's more than just in that playlist. I used to do
Right.
debates and was like really bad at them, so you know, I've definitely gotten better, but at least like 20, right? I think 20.
So we've got a veteran here.
Yeah, I'm. I guess you could call me that. It looks like I'm a little choppy, but my chat will have to deal with it. I didn't even notice you added the new sub emotes by Emmy. Yeah. I love those emotes. So what's your name, by the way? Sawyer?
Well, my first name's Nathan, but
Nathan?
my channel was Sawyer Studios.
Gotcha. Do you prefer Nathan, Sawyer, or do you care?
I don't care.
Okay, I'll just call you Nathan.
Okay.
All right,
sounds
so
good.
are you affiliated with James at all?
We met in well, he was in undergrad, I was in graduate school. We met
Mhm.
at Illinois. So that's how we know each other.
Ah,
But yeah,
okay, gotcha.
it's been great getting to know him.
That's
for
good. I'm
the
glad.
Past like 4 years.
That's
So,
good.
Yeah.
I used to be pretty religious myself, so I know that religious people don't have to be bad people, even
Right.
if I disagree with them on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I mean, it's I think it's always refreshing, getting to talk to just people from just a variety of backgrounds, and I mean, like, if you always talk to people who agree with you, you're never gonna grow. you
Yeah,
know?
of course.
And it's
I agree. Oh, wait, why am I using a controller?
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm ready to go whenever, so just let me know.
But it looks like James is setting stuff up.
Just give me 1 second. I gotta put this note out here.
So what do you do for work, Alec?
I'm a nurse, so I work home care right now. My
Oh, that's
patient,
awesome.
yeah, my patient's quadriplegic, nonverbal, so, and on trach vent, so
Alrighty.
he needs a lot of help. But yeah,
Yeah,
Put my
yeah.
headphones in.
Well, thank you for your work and your service.
well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, yo.
Yes.
So this is what we're gonna do. We'll get started right at 1 or so, but I do want to just do a quick test on this app and make sure that all the audio is coming through and that you look good and all that type of stuff. Have you ever used Riverside before?
I have not.
Okay, so this works simply by doing everything locally. So it's going to record locally on your machine, and then while we're going on, it'll be uploading the past recordings that were taken locally up to the servers. So
Is
it should
there
result in the best audio and video.
is there any way to turn off the recording locally feature, because I'm already doing that and I don't want to overload my GP or my CPU.
There is, but like for the video, I wanted both feeds, and
Okay.
this does put it together really nicely.
Okay,
So-
no. If it has to turn it off for all of us, then don't do it. It's fine. We'll
Okay.
just deal with it. My computer can handle it.
Yeah, it won't be too bad. I don't think you need a super beefy machine.
Sure,
for it,
sure.
So, all right. So yeah, so let's just do a quick test. All three of us. I'll speak first, just say something,
Sure.
and then you guys all say something. Hello, hello, testing. Go ahead, Alec.
Yes, hello, testing, testing.
Test, Nathan.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right. And this is Nathan, by the way. He's the moderator.
Yes, we've briefly spoken.
Yes,
He's a Lego YouTuber. So if you're interested in Legos,
I am.
Oh, interesting. I do have at least one audience member who's very interested in Legos, so.
you might know him.
Oh, well, maybe. Let's see. We'll do-
All right. Do you guys mind just muting your mics for a moment? I just want to make sure.
Oh,
it
yeah.
sounds good.
Yep.
All right. Cool. The only thing, Nathan, I'm just gonna ask when you aren't speaking, if you just mute your mic, just to eliminate some of the background noise. I mean, I would probably be able to get rid of it pretty easily, but
I don't know why I didn't just press the mute button. Can you guys hear me still?
yeah, you're good.
Oh, wait, hold on. Can you guys, is this better?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, sorry
Yeah,
about
that's better. That's better.
that. Okay, yeah, I set it to my good mic.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna turn you down just a bit, but it won't change the overall quality, I don't think. All right, cool. All right, so, oh, he has headphones out. Alec, do you have any questions about the debate and the format or anything like that?
No, not really. I mean, I've done plenty of debates before, certainly some debates with pro-lifers, so, you know, nothing new here.
Awesome. Well, I don't know. I don't think there's anything else for us to really do besides start. It is 12:53. I don't know if you guys are ready to go, or
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
do you have your stream up right now, Alec?
Yep, I'm good.
Can they hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you fine.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Well, hello, Alex Stream. All right, so Nathan, you good with introducing, as we spoke about yesterday?
Yeah.
Just kind of give out the format, just say our names, and then we'll get going.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, oh, one other thing I wanted to mention is give us a time, you know, before the segment's over. So maybe like a minute or 2 minutes before. Just let us know. You have 2 minutes left.
Okay, I'll give like a 1-minute warning for each of those.
Perfect. And how do I sound, Nathan? Am I loud enough?
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe you're softer or quieter than the rest of us. But
And yeah,
I can hear you.
chat, if you guys can tell me whether or not like all the audio sounds good, I'll turn them up a little bit because it looks like they're a little quiet on our end. But just make sure you guys keep that in check, please. Thank you. He needs more bass. Fix it. Well, I can't fix that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Does it sound better now?
I think so. It looks like we're about even.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah, this microphone picks up a lot of good bass. It's the RE20.
Nice,
Mm.
Yep.
nice. All right. We're all ready, Alec, then? So Nathan can introduce us. I will go
Yep.
first just because I am kind of hosting here.
That's totally
as
fine.
fair as possible. So.
Yeah.
All right, Nathan, I'm going
Okay.
to start the recording.
Okay.
Oh, actually, let me just make sure the settings are all to my liking. And then we
You
will
want me to
start.
just go straight into the intro?
Yeah, straight into the intro.
Okay.
The video will actually start with probably highlights from both sides, the best things we said.
Right.
And then
Okay.
the intro, and then obviously the debate will start with the opening statements.
Sounds good.
Let me just make sure everything is going to record correctly.
Are you able to?
Yes.
Sorry, are you able to turn yourself up at all? I think you're kind of quiet now.
Oh, I'll speak louder. I'll
Okay.
speak about this volume. So,
Okay.
how do I
Good.
sound right now? Because this is how I'm going to talk.
I think that's good. I just turned you all
Okay.
the way up on mine, so I think it should be fine.
Okay, good. Awesome. All right, I'm going to start the recording. And then, Nathan, when you feel ready to go, the ball's in your court.
Well, hello and welcome everyone. For those of you watching, this is actually the first debate hosted on this channel, which is very exciting to be a part of. Before we begin, I'm the moderator. My name is Nathan, and just a little bit about myself. I run a small Lego YouTube channel called Sawyer Studios, where I mainly produce Lego content, but I also dabble in the occasional theology and philosophy. I'm honored that James has invited me to moderate this debate, so thank you, James. That being said, allow me to introduce the candidates. So first we have Mr. James Weigel, who will be making the positive case towards abortion being ethically and morally wrong. If I'm correct on that, he'll be supporting that position. On the other side, we have Alec Gunter from his YouTube channel's name, which I believe is Alec Gunter, if that's correct. I'm sure there will be a link in the description below to his channel, so please be sure to go and check him out as well. Thank you, Alec, for being here. He will be defending the stance. I'm assuming that abortion is morally and ethically permissible, aka he will be critiquing James's stance in another sense of the word. So the debate format will be as such. Each candidate will be opening with their first statements, which will be 5 minutes each. Then we will have the cross-examination for 10 minutes. Then we will have an open discussion for 20 minutes or so, and that could be, there could be a discrepancy with that. If the conversation seems to still be going, we could extend that if both candidates wish. And then we will wrap up with closing statements, 5 minutes each. I will have a timer going. I will notify each candidate when it is a minute left on their allotted time. I encourage the candidates to keep a timer themselves. Please be free to do so. And I do believe we will be starting with you, James. Is that correct?
That's correct. You can go ahead and start that timer.
Alrighty.
I want to thank Alec for agreeing to debate here. I think this is going to be a good time. And thank you, Nathan, for taking some time out of your day to debate me, or to moderate this debate. When we're talking about abortion, we very much can speak in abstract concepts, and we go through analogies, and we try to understand the situation to the best of our abilities. But I think that when we discuss abortion, we should understand the fundamental issue. And to understand the fundamental issue, we have to understand the actual development of humans. So what I brought here today is a book that I saw Trent Horn use, and it has very good pictures of the development of humans in the womb. So if I go here to 4 weeks in the womb, you can see, and people on Alex Stream won't be able to see, but you can see in the video after, that's the human embryo. So just 4 weeks into development,
they can see it.
It is starting to look like a human. It's very early in development, of course. At this point, most women don't even know they're pregnant. But if we go forth and we go to the 8-week mark, this is when most women find out they're pregnant. And at this point, this is the when the embryo really starts to become the fetus. That's when we start to use different terminology. You can see the eyes are there. Some of the organs are starting to be shown. Going even farther into the typical picture utilized for the fetus stage, 12 weeks into pregnancy, the first trimester, the end of the first trimester, we can see here that is what the baby looks like. I'll have all these pictures linked below, so you're more than welcome to look at them. But that is what the child looks like at the first trimester. At this point, things are starting to be really well defined, and we can kind of tell it is a human. Moving forth, farther into the pregnancy, we'll get to the 5-month mark. So at 5 months, obviously, again, just really well-defined child. We're getting towards the end of the second trimester. Go forth even more. This is week 26, so 6.5 months. You can see the child definitely looks like a child. And then finally, when we get to the end of pregnancy, about 2 weeks before the typical birth, 38 weeks, pregnancy usually lasts for 40 weeks, there's a child positioning its head to be born. And so why do I do this? Well, I think it's important that we, like I said in the beginning on the offset, that we actually understand what we're talking about. And when we are talking about an abortion, we are talking about the brutal killing of a child in the womb and then the expulsion of said child from the womb. And so to understand that, I think it is important to understand the development of the child and what it actually looks like. But then that begs the question, now that we understand the act and we've seen what the development of a child looks like, is this wrong? Is this something we should accept in our society? I'm going to take the stance that this is fundamentally wrong. It is wrong to kill your child. Just because you have the liberty, and this is often conflated in our society and misconstrued, but just because you have the liberty to do something, like, for example, to kill your child, just because the law might say in certain states that you now have this right that they pull out of thin air to do so doesn't mean that you ought to do so. The idea of liberty is that you have the right to do what you ought to do. And in this case, while some will argue that on the basis of liberty, a mother might have the right to kill her own child, I am going to argue that no, she does not have that right. You do not have the right to kill an innocent person. And so that is the issue at hand, whether or not it is right to kill a child. I think that going further, I think that from a legal perspective, when we start talking about the law, and I think Alex is going to, he might try to shift the conversation that way when we get into open discussion, I think that the law should reflect morality, and the law should reflect what is right and wrong. That is the basic premise for the law and its purpose. So that's all I got.
Well, thank you, James. You have 70 seconds left, so that is a whopping record right there. Thank you. So, Alec, it is now your turn for your opening statements, and whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Ethan. I don't think I'll take too long. I'm pretty sure that James missed a vital step of the birthing process there, and that's fertilization. Prior to fertilization, we have a sperm cell and an egg cell, and so I'm just confused as to why we don't start there. There are millions upon millions of sperm cells in my balls right now that are essentially just half humans who will never get the chance to experience life simply as a result of the fact that they are not going to impregnate somebody. These are all. This is a process that began, in the words of the great George Carlin, the late great George Carlin, millions and millions of years ago. And it's just a cycle that keeps going and going and going up until today, through millions and millions of years of evolution, reproduction, both sexual and asexual. It's just a big genetic mess right now. And that's what we're doing. We are perpetuating the genetic mess that we call reproduction. So there's really no beginning stage or end stage. Sperm cells are alive, egg cells are alive, just as a zygote's alive. And in my eyes, there's no difference. The difference comes at the point of detachment from the mother's womb. Excuse me, if I can catch my breath for just a moment, sorry. I don't know why I get out of breath when I talk sometimes, I apologize. But the difference is when it becomes detached from the mother's womb, what happens is it gains bodily autonomy, right? It becomes its own thing, its own creature. And so until that point, it is attached to the mother, it's feeding off of the mother, and in some cases that mother might be 13, 14 years old. It might have been put there against the mother's will. There are all kinds of things that can happen, and I don't think that it's morally justifiable to force somebody to carry a pregnancy that they don't want, go through all kinds of torture and pain and suffering. For what? For a baby that they didn't ask for. I think that's cruel and unusual, and I think that making that illegal is also cruel and unusual. I think you're torturing women. And that's about it.
Well, thank you, Alec, for that. And breaking James' record. He has 3 minutes left, actually.
Cool.
So now we will be going into the cross-examination phase. And I'd just like to explain this briefly for those of you who are not familiar with the debate format. So in the cross-examination, each candidate will have 10 minutes for themselves to ask questions to the other opposing side. Now, during this phase, this is very much like a courtroom trial. The candidate who is cross-examining the other is at liberty to ask any type of question. And if they say it's a yes or no question, then the other person must adhere to it and answer with a yes or no. The candidate also cross-examining is able to interrupt the other candidate who is answering at any point in time. This is completely under their control. So for some of you who aren't used to watching debates or listening to them, you might think that that there might be, it might feel slightly more maybe rude of this segment, but it's just how the cross-examination phase works. So candidates, if you could please keep your answers to yes, no, or maybe one-sentence answers as best as you can. And if you have other thoughts that you'd like to say, you can bring them up in the open discussion after. So James, I believe you will be cross-examining Alec first. You will be given 10 minutes, and you can start whenever you would like.
So, Alec, when I found out that you were for abortion for all 9 months, I set up some questions, and I organized them in terms of life and liberty. And so I'm going to ask you some questions, and I don't want you to feel offended. Some of them are obvious, but I just want to make sure I have your answer so I understand your stance better. So,
real quick, moderator, am I allowed to refuse questions?
You.
Sure.
I mean, you have to answer them.
I
But
mean,
can
you
I
can
say? But can I say, for instance, I reject this question on such and such premise?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
You can say
I'm just
that.
making sure.
Of course. Okay, Nathan, you restarting the time. Awesome. All right. So, Alec, do
Mm-hmm.
all humans have a right to life?
When you say human, I would like to clarify what you mean.
Whatever you mean by it.
Whatever
you
I mean
define
by
as-
it.
whatever a
Well,
human is.
colloquially, yes.
Is the right to life the most important right?
That's debatable.
Do you have an answer?
I would say that that's debatable between that and freedom.
You don't think one is more important than the other?
I think it's very difficult to decide that. I think life is part of freedom.
Is murder moral?
Is Merton? No, not in the sense that we mean it.
Does killing require justification?
Yeah, I think so.
Do newborns have the right to life?
Yes,
Do children who are 2 minutes old have the right to life?
yes,
Is it wrong to kill a newborn?
yes.
Is it wrong to kill a 1 week year old child in the womb? Or sorry, to kill a child that is 1 week from birth?
I don't accept that as a child.
Is it wrong to kill a fetus that is 1 week from birth?
1 week from birth, that would depend on the circumstances. Like you said, we need to justify the killing, and I think when it gets to that point, that there should be a reason for it.
Okay, so proper justification, you could kill a child 1 week from birth.
I don't consider it a child, but yes.
Or sorry, a fetus. Okay. Does the life of a human begin at conception?
No. Well, I guess that would be a little bit tricky again because we're talking about humanity versus personhood. Humanity as a species.
The humanity
The
of
humanity
a
as a
human.
species, yes, but as a person, no.
Okay. Without anyone's life being threatened, is it ever justifiable to kill somebody?
I guess you could come up with some odd circumstances whereby your freedom's being threatened to a certain extent, like slavery, but other than that, in general, I understand the purpose of the question. No, I don't believe that it's justifiable.
Is it wrong to intentionally kill a bug?
I think that depends. I think if you're going out of your way killing bugs for no absolute reason, it's a little bit shitty, but usually no, I don't really care that much.
Is it wrong to kill a deer while legally hunting?
I think depends on your purpose for killing it.
So maybe.
Maybe it depends. If you're just doing it for sport, then yeah, I'd say probably don't do that. I just don't like it.
Is it wrong to kill a cow and eat it?
Oh, I think you could make a really good argument either way. I think personally, yes, it is, but I still do it. So, you know.
Is it wrong to kill a dog?
Yeah.
Okay. Now onto liberty. Are mass mandates allowable? Yes or no?
Yeah, I think in certain circumstances.
Is drunk driving right?
Is drunk driving right? No, you're putting other people in harm's way.
Is public intoxication wrong?
Ah, shit. I don't think so. Honestly, as long as you're not hurting people, I don't really care. Or being a nuisance.
Should some drugs be illegal?
Should some drugs be illegal? I don't really think so. No, you'd have to give me a pretty specific example to say that that should be illegal.
Do people have societal obligations?
To a certain extent.
Do parents have obligations to their children?
Yeah, they do.
Should society attempt to prevent suicides?
Yes.
Should taxes exist?
Yes.
Is a draft moral?
No. Well, I think it depends, but usually no.
Should violent threats be prosecuted?
Yes.
Do you believe you should weigh societal progression with individual rights/liberties?
Do I believe we should? Sorry, repeat the question.
Do you believe that we should weigh societal progression with someone's individual rights/liberties, meaning that there's an interest there between liberties and how we progress as a society?
I don't think there's. I reject the question. I don't think there's a purposeful difference like that. I don't. You're asking me for a hypothetical that does not exist. Like that would never come up as like a real thing. I don't think.
Okay. Do you believe in perfection?
Perfection? I think there's an ideal that we can strive for, but I don't think the ideal is ever truly reachable.
But you believe that the ideal does exist?
I don't know. That's very arbitrary. I don't know how I would answer that, to be honest.
Okay. Do you believe in God?
No, I believe in something more, but I don't know what it is. So I'm going to say no. I'm an atheist, agnostic atheist.
Well, those are different, but I know.
No, they're the same. So agnostic just means that I'm not sure. A Gnostic atheist would be somebody who's 100% sure there is no God. An agnostic atheist means, like, I'm not sure, and I don't frankly care that much. So I just think that there's probably not.
Do you believe in the infinite good? Good in its maxima? Or God?
I'm going to say no, because I don't know what that means.
Okay. Do you believe society should work towards what is good?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe transgender individuals should be able to use the bathroom of their identification?
Yes.
Do people have the right to do what is wrong?
By wrong, if you mean hurting other people, no.
Do people have the right to do what is illegal?
Sometimes, yeah.
So should something wrong, aka not right, be made legal?
Yeah, I think generally, yeah.
Okay. Should anyone ever be arrested?
Yes.
Should anyone ever go to jail?
Yes. If by jail we mean something separating them from society, but I don't like our current system, but yes.
Can someone be innocent in an interaction?
Can somebody be innocent in an interaction?
Yes.
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't be able to be, sure.
Can someone be wrong in an interaction?
Yeah, sure.
Should government exist?
Yes. I mean, I think so. Like, I just don't see anything past it at this moment. So at the moment, yes.
Does government have the power to set what is right and wrong in society?
Yes. That's their job.
Is killing a private matter?
No.
Does healthcare involve protecting life?
Yes. Well, the life of persons, yes.
Should healthcare providers ever intentionally kill a human?
Only if it's consensual. I do believe in consensual end-of-life terminations or whatever.
Should a human facing the death penalty be given a fair trial?
I don't think a human should face the death penalty, but I'll answer yes, if they are.
All right, so I have a few minutes left here, if my
Sure.
time's accurate. I want to ask you about an analogy or a situation that could exist. So if a mother was out in the wilderness, let's just say she's in the United States, so she's under the law of this country, and she gives birth to a baby boy, and that baby boy is requiring of the mother for all of her nutrients. The mother's feeding the boy, the mother is breastfeeding the boy, so there's a clear dependency relationship there. But the problem is that the mother is out in the wilderness. She's out in a cabin, and there is nobody to be around. But one day the mother decides that she actually doesn't want that child anymore. Even though the child's born, she says, well, the child is feeding off of my resources. The child's feeding off of my body. I have to breastfeed the child. I have to give the child things from my own person. And I don't think that's right. And so I'm going to stop feeding the child. Would it be acceptable for the mother to stop feeding the child if nobody else was around to feed the child?
No, she's already taken... Huh? Oh, okay. She's already taken on the responsibility of motherhood, so no. She would have to find somebody else to take over care.
Okay, so she's already a mother, so she's
taken on the responsibility of motherhood, correct.
Okay, and so if we brought that out and we brought it out for 9 months, could she be forced to care for the child for the next 9 months if she had to?
I would say that's... Well, if she had to, I don't think she does have to. There are plenty of ways to induce abortion.
No, but the baby's already born, right? The baby's
already been born?
Yeah, and she's taking care of the child. Would she be forced to care for the child for the next 9 months?
She's taken on responsibility. Once the baby's born and she says, yes, I will mother this child, she has to mother it until somebody else takes over.
Okay. Awesome. I think I have a few seconds left, but I'll surrender it.
I'd like to ask if I can roll my time over into the open discussion because I don't really have that many like specific questions like that. I prefer the discussion format.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
I
if
mean,
you're
if
fine
you-
with that, James?
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. Alec, if you want,
Mhm.
if you want to just still use your 10 minutes and just kind of like control the discussion and ask questions and make your points, you're welcome to do that too.
Sure.
It's totally up to you.
Sure, no, it's
Yeah.
totally fine. Like I said, I'm just more of an open discussion kind of guy. I don't really have a bunch of questions prepared. I just I want to bounce ideas back and forth. That's kind of how I do debates.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, then we'll move into the open discussion phase now, and I will set a timer for 20 minutes. And I mean, I'll let you, Alec, start us off with the open discussion since James just got done with his cross-examination.
Sure, I guess I do have one question. A 13-year-old gets
Yes.
raped. What should we do with her? She gets pregnant. Should she be allowed an abortion?
No.
Why not?
Well, it depends.
It depends.
Well, what can I ask you a question
Sure.
so I understand the question better? What
Sure.
is an abortion?
What is an abortion? It's removing the fetal tissue from the mother.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Why not?
Because in every single case in the medical field, you should be caring for both of your patients. And in the case of a woman getting pregnant, there is both the child in the womb and the mother.
It's not a child
so
in the womb. I don't consider it that. Why should I care?
Well, it is a child in the womb.
No, it's a fetus in the womb. That's what it is.
What does fetus mean?
Fetus means it's got human components, but it's still attached to the mother in the embryo.
No,
sorry,
I mean,
in the-
what does the word fetus mean? When you say
The word
fetus,
fetus?
what does that mean?
It's referring to the tissue cell that exists inside of the mother and is attached to the womb.
Okay, so that's not the actual definition of fetus is offspring, right? It comes from the
I don't
Latin
care.
word-
You're
it comes from the Latin word
you're gesturing,
fetus.
but you're gesturing at these words, and it's like words only help us in as far as they carry meaning. And what we mean when we
Sure.
say fetus is that lump of tissue in the womb.
Right, but words do carry meaning, as you've alluded to, and
Right.
it's important that we understand the words that we're meaning.
Right.
we're
So
saying.
does
And
it mean that or not? Do you agree? Does it refer to that?
Well, it's not just tissue; it's something greater. It's
Yeah, oh,
actually a
you can
human
call it whatever
being.
you want, but we're referring to the same concept. Yes.
No, it's fundamentally different because
Okay.
I believe it's a human being.
Okay.
And so you are calling it just tissue. I could have tissue separate from my body, and that would just be tissue sitting on a plate. But my actual body is my human body. So those are different, right? One is part of an organism.
I
and one
consider a
is
fetus
the
to be
organism.
like if I were to take some skin, like scrape some skin cells off, I consider that to be equivalent to at least a zygote or an embryo. Maybe a fetus past a certain point. I know that it starts to get neural connections and such about 24 weeks old. But, beyond that, like before that, I just don't care about it much at all. I think that you can give it like an additional consideration once it starts to get that neural activity, but I would still way prioritize the mother over the life of the fetus and even the comfort of the mother, frankly. I think if you're at 30 weeks pregnant and the doctor says, hey, listen, we just found this thing that's wrong with you, and if you give birth, it's going to really suck, even if we give you pain meds, I think the mother has, like, and they said that we can't do a live birth or else it'll, like, really hurt you. I would say the mother has full rights to terminate the pregnancy, however she sees fit.
Yeah, I see your stance. I think that you have a fundamental misunderstanding of what a human is, though. So
Okay, so
are
when we
calling-
have this conversation, we're talking about humans versus persons. I consider those two different. Do you?
I do not, because I don't
Okay.
think you can separate somebody's personhood from their humanity.
Is a corpse human?
It is not. Well, no, sorry. A corpse is a human body, but it's no longer alive.
What about well, it's a human body, so you consider that human tissue, right? Like that is still composed primarily of human tissue.
Right, but it's not
And
animated
human
anymore.
DNA.
It's
not
dead.
okay, so it's not animated, it's dead.
Right.
Okay, so if it's human tissue and it's animated, then you consider it a human?
That is the nature of a human, right? I think it's important to
Okay,
understand
what
that
about
things
blood
have-
cells sitting in like a bag? Those are alive.
Right, but those aren't human.
Yes,
Those,
they
those
are.
are part of an organism.
No, they have human DNA.
That they're not individual organisms.
Why not?
Because they just aren't. An individual
They're alive,
organism is
they're human.
itself-
They,
What's the
they
propensity?
meet all your criteria, buddy.
What's the propensity of a red blood cell in a bag?
It's alive and it's human. It came from
no,
a human.
it's not human. That's just fundamentally wrong. If you leave a red
Why?
blood
Why?
cell
It's your
on-
definition.
Well, here, let me explain to you why it's
Sure.
fundamentally different. If you have a zygote, right, and it's where it ought to be, which is in the mother, right, and developing, implanted into the uterus, then it will actually develop into the rational being that you and
It
I
will.
are.
It will at some point.
That's its propensity.
Yes,
That's its
it will.
habit.
It
That's
will at
what
some
it
point.
does.
But
If
it's
you
not
take-
yet, is
If
it?
you take a human, a skin cell, or you take a red blood cell, it's not of the nature to develop into a fully fleshed person.
I don't care. What I'm telling you is that if it has the nature to do so at some point, then you are openly admitting that it is not that thing yet.
Right. So in the same way, this is good. I'm glad that we've got to this point.
Okay.
So when we talk about humans, right? Usually we talk about what the realized nature of a human is. We will say, oh, well, humans have 2 eyes, they have 2 arms, and then if we get more in depth, we might say that, well, humans have rational thought. And then if we go even further, we might come up with something and say that, well, humans have a rational soul and it animates the body. And it's
Why are
all
you
these
okay with
different
forcing
things, but-
13-year-olds to give
but-
birth? Why are you
but
okay
hold
with
on,
that?
hold on. I'm happy to answer that question too.
Okay.
But if we actually
I just find it
then
interesting.
look at other things that other people that we know are humans, like we both agree from my questioning, I know you agree with this, that newborns are also human beings, right? A newborn doesn't have this robust rational thought. A newborn has a very lesser than version of the human experience because they're still developing.
Right. So a newborn,
so when
according to
we
your
talk-
logic, is just
when we
as human
talk
as a
about-
blood cell.
No, when we talk
Yes.
about humans, we can talk about humans in their nature, just like we talk about a chair that's broken. We say that's a broken chair. But if it has 4 legs, that's a full chair. Like you can develop into what you really are, but your initial starting point or where you are in your development, just because you don't have things that are essential to the nature of a human being, doesn't mean that you aren't a human being. In the case of a red blood cell does not have the propensity to develop into a fully fleshed human being. Therefore, it is not a human being.
Do I have the right to attach myself to a woman's uterus and feed off of her for 9 months?
No.
Okay,
that
well then
doesn't
why
even
do
make
you
sense.
give
That's not
more
possible.
rights? Why do you give more rights to a fetus than to me then? Because the fetus has the
Why
right to
do
do that,
I-
right?
Why do I give more rights to a fetus than to you?
Yes, a fetus has the
I'm
right
not
to do
giving, so if we can talk about rights, you have the right to life, Alec.
Sure.
And so does every single human that exists. Every human has a
that. I think every person does once you're
principle-
born.
right to life. When we argue on the pro-life side, we are not saying that the fetus or the child has more rights than the mother.
Yes,
we
you are.
simply
You're saying no.
that
Yes,
they
you are.
equal.
You're saying that if I attach myself to somebody's uterus and fed off of her for 9 months, what would you do? Like, let's say that the only way to get me off was to kill me. Is she allowed to kill me?
Well, you are. Is this? See, this situation is not. I just want everyone to understand this is not completely comparable to pregnancy.
Yes, it
but in
is.
this
That's
case,
exactly what
it is-
pregnancy is, though.
Well, that's a bad view and an
No, it's
incorrect
not.
view of
Why is it
pregnancy if you
incorrect?
think- because the world, as Aristotle saw the world in cause and effects, and there has to be a cause and then an effect. Simply,
The
speaking.
cause
And
is
so
I plug
you-
myself into a woman and start feeding off of her.
Right. So you actually are. You being a living person are going and you are
I'm hungry. I need
invade-
snackies, okay? I need snackies, and I hook myself up to a woman to get snackies. Why am I not allowed to do that? You say
right,
a fetus
that's
can
not
do
the
that.
same. That's not the same.
It's
thing as
exactly the
pregnancy.
same.
In a pregnancy, a new living human being comes into existence after the uniting
Oh, so
of the sperm
so if I
and
just
egg
appeared, so if let-
within the mother. Yeah.
Let's say that I
appearing is
just
much better
appeared
than-
yesterday.
than-
I just appeared yesterday. I'm brand new. Now I can do it.
well, are you that woman's child?
Sure, but I appear as an adult. So as long as
You appear
as long
an
as it's
adult,
my
and
mom,
What exactly is happening?
I appear. I magically appear, right? I just appear. I materialize as an adult. Oh yes, I'm a new human now. Now I can attach myself to my mother and feed off of her and get yummy snackies, right?
Is it
Now it's
essential
legal.
for? Is it essential for your life to get nutrients from your mother?
Let's say yes.
So it is essential for your life to get nutrients from your mother. It is your mother. You are the son of your mother, and you are now attached. Out of whatever reason, you are now attached to your mother.
Yes.
Yeah, in that case, you must stay attached. I mean,
disagree.
I might be missing part of the analogy, but I don't think that mother then
What if it
should
would
ought
kill
to
her?
kill the child.
What if it would kill her?
See,
like at the end
there
of the
is
9 months?
That is the exception on the pro-life side.
And why is that
we
the
view
exception?
each-
Wait, I thought that abortion was murder, right?
abortion is murder.
So you're saying that in some cases it's okay to murder a child?
Well, in some cases, it's okay to utilize self-defense because that
By murdering.
in itself is a competing of the right to life. It's one's right to life.
Oh,
versus
so
someone
that you're
else's right
saying
to
that the
life.
child then is so this innocent little being is threatening its mom like at gunpoint almost, like it's comparable to that.
No, I don't think that it's anything that
You
the
just
being
said that
can
it's threatening the
control.
life. You said it's self-defense.
There are rare cases where yes, a baby in the womb, a fetus, an offspring, an embryo can actually challenge the mother's life. I agree.
So it's
but I
not
wouldn't
innocent.
Compare that to somebody holding a gun up to somebody's head.
Why not? They're both killing. I'd say that the method is like, a distinction without a difference.
What do you mean by that? A distinction without the difference?
There's both killing the mom. So like
Yeah, so
that's
so
the important
here's
part
how
to
we
me.
view it in the pro-life movement. When you are taking a woman who is pregnant, right? You value both the woman's life and the offspring's life, the child's life, the fetus's life. And so in every case,
aware.
you say we protect each of their lives. Now, in a case where one life is potentially going to be lost, then you have to do whatever you can to protect that life. In the same way that you try to save the pregnancy, right? That is a whole part of a pregnancy itself, is making sure that the life developing inside the woman is taken care of. So that's
Even
how
if
you
she's
should view it
13.
as a doctor.
Even if she's 13, right?
Well, I mean, I know this is popular to do among pro-choicers who bring up.
Well, it's
these
a real
most heinous
situation.
acts.
So yeah, it's very popular
It's
for
very
a good
real.
reason.
Yeah. No, it's terrible. I think we
Yes.
both can agree that that's a disgusting, heinous act, and
Yes.
that whatever man did such a thing to a young girl should be punished to
Yes.
the first extent in the law.
Yes, we both
but
agree,
that
but it has
being
nothing to
said-
do with what I asked about, though. Just so we're clear,
Right.
but go on.
Right. But that being said, it is not right then to say that the child must be put to death.
Why not? Well, also, force the 13-year-old to carry the pregnancy then, right? Force her to wake up every morning throwing up, having headaches, migraine headaches, craving foods that she's never eaten before, going to school on top of that, doing homework and not being able to do sports because she's pregnant, right? She has to go to the gyno instead of her sports soccer practice. And that's all totally fine and normal and cool with you, right? And then at the end of that,
Actually,
what does
it's
she
not,
get?
It's not normal to me. I think that's actually.
But
against the
clearly
nature
it's
of
at
our-
some level
our
of normal to
existence,
you, because if it happens, you're saying she should carry the pregnancy instead of getting an abortion.
but- Well, can I explain to you why that's not normal? Because that should never have happened.
You're right, it shouldn't have, but it does. It happens all
Right,
the time.
it does happen, but for you to say that, I
And
think
so
that's
you're
normal,
saying when
I
it
do not think
does,
that's normal.
you're saying when it does, it's fine to force her through the pregnancy, and it's actually preferable.
So
to
the
an
rhetoric
abortion.
of forcing her through the pregnancy is
It's
another way
true.
of saying that she should have an option to kill her child.
She
Another
comes up to you
traumatic thing.
crying. She's in tears. She says, "I don't want to be a mom yet." What do you do?
I mean,
Please,
I
it
do
hurts. It
everything-
hurts.
I
Please,
come-
it hurts.
I give her every single resource I can possibly.
Like an abortion,
give her.
right?
That is it's a
Like an
difficult
abortion.
situation. No, abortion.
No,
Actually is
no,
a
not
very-
abortion. Okay, so we just tell her, you have to carry it.
So abortion is actually a
Crying
very
child, she has to
traumatic
carry it.
experience for a lot of people.
Crying child, she has to
so-
carry it, right?
Yeah, Alex,
Crying
we can-
13-year-old.
We can talk about the
That's what I
fringe
care
and
about.
Extreme cases, but that's not.
Well, that's what I care
really
about.
we're-
That happens. We agreed that it happens, right?
But could we agree?
So that's
on-
what you would do.
Okay. Yeah, I would. I don't. believe
Exactly.
in
There you
killing
go.
children.
It's monstrous. That's monstrous, man.
Okay. I don't. I think it's terrible to kill children, but. Can we
Dude,
talk about
but it's
the-
fine to force them through pregnancy, clearly. Right?
Well, if the terminology forcing people through pregnancy is another way of saying that they have to care for their children, they have,
Have
an
to.
obligation, and they have an obligation to their kids. which I
Forced upon
believe-
them by the rapist, which you're now enforcing.
Well, no, it's not.
Yes.
It's not just the rapist's child. It's also your child as the mother.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
While the rapist is a disgusting person who I think we should deal with, again, to the first extent the law possibly allows us.
I know
still-
that
it's still-
we
they're still
both agree on
biologically
that. That's a
connected
very
to
brave
the
stance
mother.
that you're taking, man. What I'm saying is that once we do that, you're saying we should still force the 13-year-old to carry the pregnancy, yes? You can call it whatever you want, but it's forceful.
Yeah,
She-
you're gonna ask me again, and I'm telling you, it's wrong.
Let me
to
ask you
kill
this.
children, So yes.
Can children make medical decisions?
No,
Oh, well, but I thought that they could choose to carry this pregnancy.
you don't choose to carry a pregnancy. Pregnancy
Oh, it's
is
just
a
forced
natural
upon them.
phenomena.
Right, it's just forced upon them.
No,
well,
it's
so
not
so you're saying it's natural then. It's natural when a rapist.
No, I didn't
Right?
say
Yes,
that.
you did.
No,
You said it's natural for when a 13-year-old is pregnant, right?
No, it's actually that's.
I
Actually
I
against
thought
our
that pregnancy
human
was
nature
natural
to-
here.
Okay, so now you're conflating a 13-year-old being pregnant and the typical pregnancy.
Is it natural when a
natural
13-year-old's
to get
pregnant?
It is against our nature. It's against the moral law for a young girl to get pregnant. Yes, that is wrong. That is not normal.
But it's not
Especially
wrong to
what we
force
do
her
with
through the
child
pregnancy.
that comes into existence.
But it's not wrong to force her through it. That's natural and fine.
It is wrong, Alex, to kill a child. If that to you means to
Yeah,
force
yeah.
somebody to-
It's you're saying it's wrong for that child to get an abortion. So it's fine to push that child through a pregnancy against her will. I think that's gross. I think that's really gross, man.
Okay. Or do you want to move on to other parts of pregnancy? The other 98% of pregnancies that occur, or maybe the
Just so it's
90%
clear
of
that
elective
you're
abortions?
forcing 13-year-olds through pregnancy. You're fine with that. Just so it's clear.
I'm actually not fine with the concept of a 13-year-old.
When
being
you are
pregnant. I think
presented
that
with
I'm
a
principled
13-year-old
person.
who is pregnant, you say yes, force her through the pregnancy. You can dress it up in whatever pretty language you want, but that's what you're doing.
I'm not forced. I mean, you are.
Mm-hmm.
I do not believe it's right to kill children. I know it's a.
What word
it's a
would you
difficult
use?
situation to
What
talk
word would
about.
you use?
I
Not
would say
force, but
you believe, Alec. If I
no,
understand
I'm giving you a
correctly-
chance. What word would you use? You don't like the word force, so what word would you use? We would blank the 13-year-old through the pregnancy. Go on.
Well, you help the 13-year-old.
Help her. There we go.
13-year-old through the pregnancy.
We would
I mean,
assist
you give
her through it, right.
resources. I mean, I think that pro-choicers would be better time.
Right,
they
against
would
her
be
will,
better
though,
spent
right? Against her
actually
will.
helping mothers.
She wants the abortion.
Instead of. Yeah, but you just because again.
Please, please, it hurts. Please, I'm begging you. No, you have to. You're forced now. You have to do it.
Okay.
I'm just
So
saying.
it's coming back then to a fundamental understanding of liberty, which I think you actually probably agree with me more than you might think. You do not have the liberty to do what is wrong, and it is wrong to kill a child. I understand this is a difficult situation.
I don't
to
think it's a
talk about,
child. I think that you're forcing a 13-year-old needlessly through a pregnancy. And
But
I
you
think that's
haven't.
gross.
See, I've given you a good argument for why it is a child, and you
I don't
haven't
care.
really-
I don't agree. It's not a good argument.
Okay, well, why is it not a good argument?
Because it can't think, it can't breathe, it can't do anything on its own. It's connected to the mother and feeding off of it. It's not a child, it's a
Okay,
fetus.
so
There's a
what do
distinct
you-
difference.
What do you think about a 2-day-old child?
It's a child.
Okay, so can that child do anything on its own?
No. Not really. I mean, it can move.
How does
It's
it- how does
independent. Well, it can actually. You know what it can do? It can live on its own. It can survive. All right?
How
It,
does
it
it
can
do that?
actually survive without being attached to anybody directly. And so what we can do is we can take that child. Let's say the mom doesn't want it. Oh, just give birth. Now the mom doesn't want it. All right. So she changed her mind last second. Let's now take our government, right, that's set up to protect such children. I would hope at least, the least of us, right? And now we're going to take the government and say, now you have to do something with this. You have to allocate resources to make sure that this living human is cared for. That's what our government's for. And that's what I believe.
Right, so I'm curious, how does a 1-day-old child do everything on its own? How does it survive on its own?
I didn't say everything. And if I did say everything, I'm sorry. What I meant was it survives because it can breathe on its own. It can actually take in sustenance, right? It has the pucker response, not pucker.
How does it get food?
It suckles off its mom's teat or through formula.
Okay, so it requires the resources of the mother.
You also require other people's resources, man. You don't live in a vacuum. We
I
all
agree.
require
no,
each
hold on.
other.
I agree. This is also a very important point that I think a lot of people on the left need to respect. We are social creatures. We
Yes.
do depend on each other. I totally agree with that statement.
Yeah.
However, your argument here is that your humanity is dependent on, or it's a requirement for your humanity, rather, that you don't have a dependent relationship. But now we're seeing, brought to light, that you do depend on people.
I
from
said
the moment-
direct connection. It's a direct connection to the mother. She is
Okay,
being.
but metaphysically, what is the difference between dependency?
If we could. No, what the difference is that we can have other people care for the baby now. It doesn't need its mom anymore. If we need somebody else to take care of it, we can do that. We can accommodate it. That's what the government's set up for.
But in the analogy I gave you previously in my cross-examination,
Yeah, the
I
very
gave you
silly
the
analogy
example-
that never happens.
But is it possible though?
Sure, it's possible in a governmentless society, in a libertarian hellscape. Sure, I'm sure that could happen.
Well, I don't want. Let's just take a moment to understand. I don't want a libertarian hellscape.
Well, I'm not saying you would, but I'm just saying, yeah, if the ANCAPs get their way, I'm sure that would happen. But in our current modern day post-scarcity society where we have doctors and government officials.
The example is real though. It could happen. It could exist
But
in
it
this
doesn't.
world.
It like
Right, but
and
but
to the
understand
extent, by the way,
that
you're missing a
shows
crucial
that-
element. Did she choose to get pregnant, or was that forced upon her?
Let's say she chose.
She chose to get pregnant, so she wanted the pregnancy. Yes.
She had consensual sex, yes.
Okay, she wanted the pregnancy. She had consensual sex for the specific purpose to get pregnant. And then what happens? You set it up.
She has a baby. It's the same thing
Okay,
I
so she
asked you
gives
before.
birth.
She gives birth to
Yeah,
a
so
child.
this is all
and
consensual. Up to this point,
nobody-
she gives birth.
Nobody is around
Okay.
for 9 months.
Then she's
And
the
in
only
wilderness.
responsible party. She has now given birth to a human that deserves human rights, okay? And being the case that she is the only person who can provide for it, she is obligated now to provide for it. And I think that's
Bingo.
fair.
So she has an obligation to her child. I agree with that premise. In the same way, and this is where we're going to disagree, because you don't think that the baby in the womb or the fetus in the womb is a child. I think that's not really founded in anything. I don't think it's a good pro-choice
I think a
argument.
13-year-old's a child.
But however, in the womb, there is the same thing. Only the mother can supply what that child needs.
I don't care. It's not
just-
human. It's literally feeding off of
Alec,
the mom.
I get it, but if you were to accept the basic premise that it is a human, which most
That's a
people
scenario that
accept,
never happens.
if you would understand that it's actually the same dependency. It's a situation
No, it's
where
not.
the mother.
It is not
How
the
is it-
same
how is-
dependency.
How is it different? How is it
It's not a direct connection. It's not directly tied to the mom. If the mom doesn't want to if the mom doesn't want to breastfeed it, the mom can get formula or something else to feed it with. It's not directly taking nutrients from the mom. It's not a parasite.
Okay, so we're talking
It
about
ceases to be a
physical-
parasite.
We're talking about a physical connection, sure.
Yes.
Do you believe that there are metaphysical truths?
I guess maybe I don't know. Like what?
Like I can say it is wrong for somebody to come and kill you right now. That's wrong.
I would say that's wrong. Yes, in
And
a social
we should
manner.
all agree on that, right? And that.
Well, this
simple
is a
form,
social
that's just
contract
wrong.
thing.
Well, no, I'm just asking you, can things be true that maybe deal with morality? Can certain moral statements just be true?
I think that we should, as humans, take it as truth because that's what will help benefit us the most. So
What do
in
you mean
that
by
sense,
take it-
yes.
What do you mean by take it as true?
Really quick, James, before
Yeah, go ahead.
you continue.
Sure.
So that is the 20 minutes of discussion. Now we did have 10 minutes allotted for Alex's cross-examination, which he gave up. So we can continue for 10 more minutes.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's
if
fine.
you both are fine
As
with
long
that.
as it's cool with Alec, and he's definitely cool with it. So.
Okay, we'll go for 10 more minutes. You can continue with your question.
Yeah, so what is, sorry, let's just go back. So do you believe in
Sure.
physical truths? Do you think that physically we can observe something and say that's true?
Yeah, sure. Like the sky's blue, sure.
Do you think that moral statements can be observed as true?
Such as, give me an example.
It is wrong to kill an innocent person.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Great. So in the case of dependency between a mother in the cabin, the only person that her child can depend upon is herself, and the case of the child or the fetus, I'll use your terminology, in the womb, depending on the mother, what is the metaphysical difference there? What in
It's
terms
not
of
a person.
dependency?
It's not detached from the mom yet, so I don't consider it a person. It's like it'd be like what you're asking me is, do you care about the egg and sperm cell? No, I don't.
Well, the egg and sperm cell are not people.
Why
They
not?
are- they
That's
have
I think that's a
when-
fair question. Why not?
Because they are just not. They have 23
Oh, they're just not.
chromosomes.
Why not?
And
Well,
because
together they have 46, right?
when you combine egg and sperm together, it actually creates a new organism. But separate, they are just parts of. They come from an organism.
So what's the
They're just
difference
parts of an
between?
organism.
So what's the difference between when a sperm cell, like the moment before it attaches to the egg cell? Like, what's the difference? I don't see the difference.
The
Like-
difference is that when you actually have sperm and egg come together, a unique person is created. There's things like
Okay,
its
I don't
sex,
care. It's still just as brain dead.
characteristics.
It's still just
It's
as
going
brain
to-
dead.
Hold on, let me just give it respect, right? It has its own sex determined at the moment of conception. Its hair color is determined. Hundreds of characteristics are determined about that unique.
It's determined.
individual
No.
organism
Wait, sex is
at the
determined
point-
before that. Nope. Sex is determined before that. The
Okay.
sex is determined by the father. There's an X chromosome or a Y chromosome within each sperm cell. It is determined well before fertilization. So if that's part of your criteria there, then you're gonna have to take that off the list.
Okay, fine. You learn something new every day. But I know for sure that hair color is determined at the moment of conception. And you have everything that is going to become the fully fleshed human
Yeah, but the chance-
is right there, and it's going to self-direct that growth into the fully fleshed human.
Let me ask you this.
From the moment of conception.
Mom and dad are both homozygous for brown hair. Meaning that no matter what, the kid's gonna have brown hair. So is that determined at the moment of fertilization? Is it determined before? Like what point does that determine?
Only a person can be created from sperm and egg coming together. So we. Can
But
get
you didn't
into,
answer the
I guess,
question. Do you understand
know
what I'm
how to
getting
answer
at?
the
Just
question.
because
I'm
all these things
confused.
happen to be determined at the point where the sperm and egg come together, like doesn't mean anything. You could say that it's determined way before
Why does
that.
it not mean anything? Doesn't that show that it's actually the beginning of something new?
No.
So is anything?
Sure, it's the
created at
beginning of
conception?
something new, but is there anything what?
Is anything created at conception?
Created? No, it's just an egg cell and a sperm cell coming together. Like, no, literally, no. There's no mass added to it. It's just one sperm cell, one egg cell, and all the mass is the same. And the only thing that happens is that the sperm cell and the egg cell come together, and then the DNA unites, and that makes it a human cell, okay?
So I would be if you have any scientific literature to point to this stance, I would be very curious to read it.
to
but
read
I do want to
about,
ask you,
wait,
do you,
sorry, to read about what? Like, that's...
the fact that life does not begin at conception.
I never
'Cause
said
I
that...
haven't heard this.
Well, no,
This
it
is
doesn't, because
fascinating.
sperm and egg cell are alive, so it doesn't.
Right, just like your skin cell is alive, but it's not a person. It's your skin cell. It's a
I
part
would
of the
be...
organism.
I would love to know why I should respect a fetus over a skin cell.
Well, can I ask you this question?
Sure.
Do you know what conception means?
It means when a sperm and an egg cell come together. That's what it means. That's the idea we're communicating. So I know that you're going to go into some Greek, whatever it is, but I don't care.
Well, I don't know why you wouldn't care about any of that because I think it's important
I
to
just
understand
know
the
why.
word
Why
being-
is it though? We're communicating the idea.
Well, why do you think we called it conception?
Why do I care?
Well, because I think it might show you that actually we largely agree that this is when you are conceived or when you are created. When you begin.
Okay, serenade me. Go on.
So let me really try to fundamentally understand this a little bit better. So
Sure.
at 39 weeks, is that a human being in the womb?
Is it attached to the mom?
It is, but you actually could look in and you could see its head.
No.
Like it's there. It exists.
No. It's,
Okay,
it's
let's
still
say
inside the mom.
It's being birthed.
You're asking me
and
for a
it's
gray
still-
line. You're asking me for a blurred line. There's no point to
Well,
this
I
question.
wanna know when it
I don't
becomes a
think that
human.
you should.
When
I
does it
don't
become
think
a
that you
human?
should
Birth?
kill it. If you're asking me whether or not it's okay to kill a 39-week-old fetus for no reason, no, it's not okay. There's a gray line. Okay, I understand there's a line. I get that, but I don't respect
Well,
it as
that's
human.
important.
I don't respect it as human until it's out of the
Okay.
mom and detached. That's not respected as human.
Well, Alec, we actually made some progress here because you came in saying that you are for abortion all 9 months,
Yes.
right? And you just said that at 39 weeks, you would not think it's acceptable to have an abortion.
No, I did not say that. What I said was a needless abortion. If it's to save the life of the mom, if the mom is going to be in
Which I
some kind of
agree.
immense pain, if the baby is like, let's say that
Immense
the baby
pain.
is like, you know, there's a nuchal umbilical cord wrapped around its neck, and it's also twisted the wrong way, right? I forget what it's called right now, but it's in the stance that's the wrong way, and it's going to be like torture to try to get it out. They can't do a C-section for one reason or another, and they're saying, listen, your baby is going to be like permanently screwed up, and this is going to be an extraordinarily painful procedure if we proceed, even if we give you painkillers. I say, yeah, at that point, an abortion's fine. It's not
I'm
a human
curious
yet.
because you brought in immense pain, and I want to ask you a question about that. Do
Sure.
you think it's ever acceptable in society, or can you think of a situation where, because of the immense pain of a mother, it is acceptable to kill your child?
Such as?
I'm asking you, can you think of anything besides pregnancy?
No.
Okay.
I
So why-
also don't
I
think
guess-
that
I
a
guess
fetus
what's
is a
the
child,
argument-
so
what's
you
the
still have to
argument
convince me of
for-
that.
What is the argument for? Well, I've tried to convince you of it, and I don't think we're gonna get anything
Probably not.
there. I think most, and all respect to you, Alec, I appreciate you doing the debate.
Sure.
But I think that the vast majority of pro-choicers agree that it is a human from the moment of conception.
It's not a
and this
person.
is-
No. You keep conflating human with person. See,
Okay,
this
so
is the
what is
problem.
what's a non-human person?
It's something that has the genetics and the composition of a human, but it's not a person, such as a corpse, all right,
What is
or
the
a
requirement to be a
kidney
person?
cell, all right, huh?
What is the requirement to be a person?
Was a requirement to be a person?
What do you have to meet to be a
That's
person?
very
if you are a
complicated.
human?
You're asking me about the nature of humanity.
Yeah,
but
and
I
I can
suppose
very easily
my
answer that question.
criteria would be that you've been born. You have human genetics and you've been born.
What about birth makes that so special?
You're not
in
attached to the
making you a
mom. You're
person?
not feeding off of somebody
And then
else
we
as a
get back
parasite.
to the dependency question, which I don't think you can give metaphysical or above the physical.
You're
reasoning for why
parasitizing off
dependency
of
is so
someone else.
important.
You can't tell me why a fetus is allowed to do that and I'm not. So I don't get it. You're giving the fetus more rights
How
than
is
me.
the
I want
fetus- how is
snackies.
the
I want
fetus a par-
snackies. Why can't I get snackies? Why did the fetus get all of them? That's not fair.
How is the fetus a parasite?
It's literally a parasite. It attaches itself and then it feeds. And it actually does quite a bit of damage to the mom. You know, you can have a mom. Sorry, that's my dryer. You can have a mom like lose teeth and shit. Like it can get quite gruesome sometimes. You know, there's a lot that happens with pregnancy that people just don't think about.
So I reject the idea that it's a parasite because the fetus.
Well, then you're
literally
wrong. You're
where
just
it's
scientifically
designed to
inaccurate
be in.
then.
That's actually not scientifically inaccurate.
Yes, it
because
is.
The fetus, it's literally a part of the reproductive life of a woman. It's
And
like
it acts as a parasite.
It is directly connected to her biological existence.
There's a species.
Her
there's a
body literally
species.
is geared towards
There's
pregnancy.
a species of wasp.
So-
There's a species of wasp that parasitizes a spider, and it lays its eggs inside of the spider's belly while it's still alive, and that's how they develop. Now, is the spider responsible for caring for those little baby larvae? Like,
The
I mean,
spider of a different species.
yeah, is that parasitism?
In that case, does sound like a parasite.
What
Yes,
if they
but
did?
we're
What if they
talking
did it?
about a mother
What
and
if they did it
child
to a
here.
wasp of the same species?
What if we did it with a wasp?
Yeah.
of the
What if
same
what if there's a species of wasp? Oh shit. Sorry, I'm playing something. What if there's a species of wasp that did it to the same species? Like they went over to another member of their own species and parasitized it. But it's not parasitism because they're the same species, right?
We would have to. I mean, I don't even know if that exists in the real world.
But you're
We would
saying
have
that
to
the only
look at
meaningful
situation.
difference there is the species, yes?
No, it's not the only meaningful difference.
Well, then what's another
When
one?
I went on, I said that the actual biological existence of the mother of a woman is pregnancy. It's fundamental to her biological.
No, what's
nature.
fundamental to her biology is living her damn life, okay? And enjoying it. That's what's fundamental. I don't care if she's pregnant
how
or
is
not.
that? How is that a physical truth?
It's a physical truth because I think that's what will make everybody's lives better.
No.
So
see,
that's truth enough for me.
That's a metaphysical.
Will
truth.
that
So
not
you are
make
talking about
everybody's
something
lives
above the
better? Is to-
physical.
so
I'm
what
talking
you're
about
saying-
the physical reality of a woman.
Well, the physical reality is that the woman wants to do whatever the hell she damn pleases.
Again,
That's the physical reality.
That's a different type of thing. You were talking
No,
about
it's
something above
not.
the physical. Yes, it is, because I am talking about the biology of a woman, which is something
Okay,
physical,
and
something
that sounds
substantive.
like eugenics, man. You sound like a eugenicist.
How do I sound like a eugenicist?
Because you're saying, no, you fail to see. The purpose of the woman is the womb, and we must implant a baby. The baby must be implanted in the womb. It's like really sick, man.
I'm not saying that women should be forced to be pregnant. I am saying that it is definitely.
You're saying that's
part
her
of a woman's
purpose.
No, that's also not what I'm saying.
Okay.
Although I think that it is good for women to get pregnant. It's good for our society, right? That if we keep reproducing.
Sure,
we
then you
we
should
keep living.
incentivize pregnancy instead of
but-
trying to strip them of rights.
But what I am saying is that you cannot deny that a woman's biology definitely centers around pregnancy, right? From when she starts having her periods. and
Sure, her
uterine
biology, but
lining
I'm not
starts
cucked to
straightening.
biology. All right,
I'm not saying that I agree with you. There is a metaphysical reality about life. I agree that we
Okay,
can have a discussion
then-
about what women should do in the world. I'm totally fine with
Okay.
that. But for you to say that you think that it is a biological truth that a woman should do whatever she wants, it doesn't even make any sense.
Why
so
not?
I don't, because that's not biology.
I don't care.
That's a physical thing.
If it's
Okay, but
not the
you're not-
truth, then whatever you consider like whatever area of study, I don't care. I consider that truth. Women should be able to do whatever the hell they please.
Okay.
So if a woman wants,
And
okay.
sorry, James, that is the time. And so we are going to go on to closing statements,
Sure.
which will be 5 minutes each for both candidates. And James, because you opened, you can have the first closing statement. You can start whenever.
All right. So, first, again, thanks for Alec for doing the debate.
Yeah, of course.
We disagree pretty tremendously, and I do these debates quite often with pro-choicers, and the typically, and I don't mean to offend Alec on the other side of this call, I really don't. But typically, the good arguments you will see from the pro-choicers is the fact that our humanity is not, the value of our humanity is not actually derived from the fact that we are just human, or as a Catholic, as we would say, that you were made in the image of God, that you have such a great purpose for the world. That the value of humans actually comes from something else, and they'll argue consciousness or sentience. Those really are the best arguments, but even in that argument in itself, I think it's a bad view of the world. I think that human beings, and I have no problem saying this, human beings are just valuable on the basis that they are human. And we should view humanity in that light. Every single human being, no matter their characteristic, we should never discriminate them or discriminate on them based on what they look like, what they sound like, what they wear, what characteristics they have, what sex they are, what gender they identify as, who they choose to love. For whatever reason, we should always view humans as infinitely valuable because they are humans. Now, on to Alec's argument, I don't think you're going to find, and I would encourage anyone who does find it to send it to me. I don't think you're going to find any sort of scientific literature that says that the beginning of humanity is not, or of a human is not the moment of conception. I think that has been shown that at that moment, because of the combination of the sperm and the egg, a unique living organism comes into existence. And that organism self-directs its own development. And as you can see from the pictures I showed at the beginning of this debate, of the show, it very quickly starts to look like a human being, which is important that we actually understand the actual the nature of what we're looking at. And just a final point, when you're discussing this topic, it is important to understand that things have nature. I did get to briefly mention this during the debate, but you can talk about a chair that has 4 legs, and then you can break that chair, right? You can break a leg of that chair and say, oh, well, now that chair has 3 legs. Is it still a chair? Yes. Does it have 4 legs? No. But when we talk about the chair, we will say, oh, the nature of a chair of that type is to have 4 legs. So things have nature, and the nature of a human being is the rational being. It is both the human body and the rational soul. Both men and women have these 2 components. The only difference is that women have the female body and men have the male body, but they both have the rational soul. And that is the simple nature of humans. So just because a child, a young child, 1 day old, 2 days old, just because a 10-year-old doesn't have the intellectual capabilities or has the rational capabilities, the emotional development that I may have or Alec may have, doesn't mean that they are not of the human species. In the same way, it does not mean that the child in the womb who does not have anything or is not fully developed in the way I am is not of the same species that I belong to. So, yeah, things do really have fully developed natures, and we can recognize that and still say that those that are not yet fully developed are still of our species. But again, I appreciate the conversation, and that's all I've got.
All right, thank you, James, for that closing statement. And now, Alec, it is your turn to make your closing statement. You have 5 minutes, and you can start whenever.
Yeah, sure. So, basically, when I have these arguments, I like to argue about the practical consequences of outlawing abortion, because the practical consequences, 13-year-olds and even as young as 10-year-olds, which happen in Ohio, by the way, will be forced to give birth, and I don't like that. I think that it's icky to do that, and apparently my opponent disagrees, but so c'est la vie. Once the reality is that it happens. All right, you can't just legislate away rapists. You can't do that. So the reality is that it happens. And so I believe that it is morally abhorrent to try to force a 13-year-old through that. Like I said, on top of homework, trying to do sports and hang out with friends, maybe play video games or something, like just being a kid. Like, what happened to let kids be kids, man? Like, this just seems very dark. Frankly, like a dark reality that supposed pro-lifers want. I don't like to call them pro-lifers. I like to call them forced birthers, because that's what they are at the end of the day. Forced birthers. If you get pregnant, I'm sorry, man, that sucks. But hey, even though there's a way to stop it, now you're forced to carry it. You have that responsibility on you. If there were a way to extract the fetus or the embryo or whatever at the moment of conception and have it live, then I'd say you have a case. But I'm sorry, the mom has bodily autonomy, and that's all I care about. It's her body, and therefore, if you can save a fetus past like 24 weeks, I think you should do that. Okay? I think that at that point, it gets, a peg up on the morality scale. But until that happens, it's fair game. I'm sorry. Like, I just don't care that much about it. It has no brain. It has no neural structures that would indicate that it's at all human. It can't live on its own. It can't think. It can't breathe. It can't do anything. And so I don't consider its life to have begun yet. Certainly not before 24 weeks, but even after that, it's still parasitizing off the mother, something which, once again, you said that I'm not allowed to do. And so what you want to do is give more rights to fetuses than to humans, or to people, I should say. And I just don't agree with that. And another thing is, on that topic, we kept conflating the words human and people. And this is another thing that I like that pro-lifers love to do a lot, is conflate those two words, human and person. When we speak colloquially, we're talking about those two interchangeably typically. But the reality is that those are two separate concepts. You can have something that's human without it being a person, like I said with skin cells, right? It's a human skin cell. We can consider that human, but it's not a person. And I feel the same way about a zygote. It is simply not a person. It has something that would indicate that it's a person. It is simply a cell, or maybe a clump of cells at best, swimming around in the embryo with its little life jacket attached to the mom, feeding off of it all the way along. Okay? It's a parasite. And if the only real distinction you make between an embryo and like a tapeworm is the species, then you are acknowledging the fact that, yes, it is engaged in parasitic activity, whether you like it or not. And I just think that the mom has the right to remove it. So don't force 13-year-olds to give birth. I think that's gross. And that's about it. I really appreciate having you on, though, James. Thank you so much for being here. I felt like that was a good faith conversation. And we made a lot of headway for sure. So I always enjoy these discussions. So thank you again. And thank you, Nathan, for being such a good moderator. I appreciate you.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to discuss a different issue at a different time.
Sure. Sounds good. Hit me up.
All right, I'm going to stop the recording, guys. I know Alec's still streaming. But yeah, thank you, Alec, for participating. I really do appreciate it. I think we went at it, but, you know, I think we respect each other, at least on this side. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good conversation. Thank you very much.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to bounce out of here. Have a nice stream, hopefully. And again, if you want the footage, I'm more than happy to give you all the videos. But it's up to you.
I appreciate it. I have my own. I think I'll be good, but thank you.
Awesome. All right, man. Have a good day.
All right, you as well. See ya.
Yep.
Thank you, Alec.
Well, all righty. How'd we do, folks? It was certainly a conversation. I'd say so. I'd say that's a fair statement. It's so nice that I can do that now. Holy shit. Good job. Thank you. Pretty decent. I thought I did pretty good. I thought I hit the important talking points. I thought I made him look pretty bad. He held off just going to the Bible until the end. A human fetus isn't even close to being a human being. It's developing and parasitic organism. I agree. And again, I'm not allowed to attach, but I thought that Snackies bit was really funny. I thought that was really funny. Just gotta get a little humor in there, you know what I mean? I'm not allowed to have Snackies for mommy. Why can't I have mommy Snackies? Thank you for asking about if a human can just attach onto you. The debate did become too spicy. Well, it has to, because, again, you guys cannot let them get away from the reality that they are forcing children through pregnancy. You cannot let them get away with that, okay? It is the crucial part of this entire operation, is that we cannot let 14-year-olds and 13-year-olds and 10-year-olds get pregnant and give birth, okay? If they get pregnant, which they will, it's just a thing that happens that we must contend with. We can reduce it, even though conservatives don't want to. But when that happens, we have to deal with it. And so to deal with it, they want to force those people through pregnancy, okay? The spiciness is the whole point. Make them eat the dish they're making. Exactly. So they can call it fringe all they want. They can say that they should punish the rapist all they want. By the way, that's a talking point fed to them by the churches. All right? If you don't believe me, think about it. Matt Walsh made that point. They all tried to make the same point. Well, we should punish the rapist, but when it comes to, punishing the baby, it's like it's not about punishing. They have a punishment fetish, man. It's disgusting. Like, nobody's trying to punish anybody, except for the rapist, of course. All we're trying to do is make it so you're punishing the woman, I'd argue. You're punishing the woman. Or whoever happens to be pregnant. Maybe it's a child, once again. Maybe it's a trans man. But the ultimate point is you are forcing that person to give birth, okay? There's a way to stop the pregnancy. You're saying they can't, so you're forcing it. Regardless of whether you like it or not, you are forcing it. You did a good job staying on point and not accepting his framing. I thought it was also a pretty Chad move that I completely denied the chance to cross-examine or whatever. Like, he's sitting there playing 20 questions with me, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I guess, maybe, right? And I'm just like, can we skip that part for me? Like, I don't need all that. I didn't do it to be Chad. I just didn't want to do the cross-examination. I was just like, can we just talk, That was bullshit. It's fine. Like, it doesn't make me look good or bad. You ate, thank you. I think I did too. Not from mommy, of course, but hey, there you go. All right, we'll stop the recording there. His questions were weird. His questions were a little odd. They were a little odd. I think that he got really flustered. Not gonna lie. In order for doctors to make the decision to save the mother, they need to have the power to make that call. Absolutely, I agree. All right, well, we got some more time. I think it did good. I started listening 30 minutes ago, and now I want snackies. He was poisoning the well, making you look immoral. Listen, if he thinks that he made me look immoral, then he can have it, by all means. I know who I am and what I'm about. That's all it takes, man. That's all it takes to beat these guys, is just knowing who you are, what you're about, the consequences of these bills, and shove it in their face. If you can just shove the consequence of the bills that they want in their face, they cannot handle it. They can't. They can't. Here, we'll turn on my brother's music. Childbirth has killed an unfathomable amount of women and girls throughout history. Conservatives just don't care about how dangerous it actually is, especially for the underprivileged. Isn't it a banger? One of my favorite ones is right after this. It's called A Lovely Duck. I want some cheesecake right now. Oh, no, why did you remind me that there's more cheesecake in the fridge? Do you know how much fucking cheesecake I consumed last night? I had so much cheesecake. So much cheesecake. Just like plain ass, like vanilla cheesecake. It was so good. Oh, way too much cheesecake though. Way too much. I don't know how I'm not fatter than I am right now. Alec, give chat snackies. I don't have enough for the whole class. Thank you, by the way, for the $5. Gamer. I can't see your whole name. Gamer Cool 2048. Thank you. His argument was based on the soul and he tried to hide it. Well, he was trying to get to that point, but I never really let him. I just completely ignored it anytime he like said anything about the soul. It just like doesn't matter. Because that's not practical. That's not practical reality. Plain cake is the measurement of cake. If it's no good plain, it's no good. That's how you know sponge cake is crap. I like sponge cake. I think. That's like angel cake, right? Or is that different? Angel cake is fucking baller. I ate my nuggies during that debate, so I'm okay on snackies. Nice. I'm glad that I got a chuckle out of him about the snackies thing, too. Is there anything good to cover today? Anything recent happen? Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't care. I just quit the game. Or should I just end? Oh, this happened. We hit 10,000! Sorry, one sec. We hit 10,000, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Excuse me. Let's go. Let's go. We got it, boys. Mr. Wynn just premised a better argument than Soul at Embryo. Yeah, we moving up in the world, boys. Even if someone doesn't like abortion, you can reduce abortion more with free contraceptive than by banning it. I agree. I wish we had gotten to that, but it was kind of a short debate. Also, I just don't like the format. I don't like the structured format. I don't like moderators. Like, I want to talk to people. I just want to have discussions, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be this big event. You know? That's my thing. It's my victory song. This one's called Welcome, Travelers. Less abortions require education, healthcare, and an uplifted working class. I agree, yeah. Oh man. You guys know Noel Diesel? Or Dazel? Noel Dazel? This guy? He's such a Chad, I love him. He's talking about like the oil injections that people get. Ugh, you guys know about those oil injections? It's disgusting. See if we can find a good video.
Congratulations. Your kid, and
You guys want to watch a video? People still do that, apparently. What are they for? You guys want to see?
Meu nome é Tony.
Oh, this one's entirely in another
Eu
language.
tive mais medo da.
We'll do a different one.
Oh, all right, you guys.
Okay, we'll do this. Everybody wants big muscles these days. Everyone wants to be a big muscle daddy or mommy like me, right? Detrained as I am. Some people take it a little bit too far, though, and they go for something that's a little bit unsafe. It's oil injections, essentially. And you can see an example of that right here. This man has injected his biceps with copious amounts of oil, and it blows them up, apparently. I don't know exactly the physiology of how it works. I don't know if the oil just, like, sits there under the cutaneous tissue. But, like, I can tell you for a fact that it is not healthy, okay? Not healthy one bit. Yeah, very much yikes. It doesn't even look good. Like, he wears super tight shirts to, like, make them even more bulky. And, like, you can tell it's just fake. It almost looks like he's got, like a skin thing on, you know what I mean? Like one of those fake skin patches, you know what I mean, that make you look muscular. They even skip steroids. Yeah, no, they just go straight for the oil. Which, by the way, steroids aren't exactly cheating. You still have to do the work. Like, steroids just make it so that you can do more work. It broadens your horizons. That's all it does. But oil injections really, literally are cheating, and demonstrably so, because they don't get strength from it. They don't get anything except for this weird amalgamated, you know, they convince themselves it looks good. But yeah, I just want to go over a little bit. It's like a 4-minute video, not too long. And just educate you guys a little bit about what's going on, because apparently people are still doing this. So let's go over it.
Oh, all right, you guys.
Why it's unsafe.
We live in the era of smartphones and stupid people. But without
Oh, come on. We're already starting off with a stupid smartphone joke. Okay.
stupid people, we would have no one to laugh at. Check out this guy. His arms are so big, he can't even
It's almost
eat
sad,
right.
man.
His body contains more oil than the fries on the table. When
Okay,
you
that was
are
a good one.
dead, you don't know you are dead. It's only painful for others. The same applies when you are stupid.
Okay. I do want to say it's kind of sad, though, simply because, like, this is a result of, like, body expectations, right? Like, people feel like they have to do this shit to, like, you know, look good. You know, it's unrealistic body expectations, and it's sad. It's really sad, but it's also pretty funny. The reason that we're laughing at it today is to demonstrate why we should not do it. It's
Now
for
look
safety.
at this
We laugh
guy
at them
here
for
from
safety.
Poland. He has more oil in his
Jesus
biceps
Christ,
than
man.
the Peugeot that he's driving. And he got 2
Popeye over
additional
here.
airbags. A smart man. With his car, he's
It
the
looks
Vin
gross.
Diesel from Fast and Furious Oil. Now let's switch from Poland to other countries. This Brazilian guy...
You know what he looks like? See if this brings up anything. He looks like a WWE created character. Yeah, here we go. This is the ideal this is the ideal male body. You may not like this. Open image in new tab. There we go. You may not like this, but this is what perfection looks like. This This is what it looks like when you do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. It looks terrible.
It looks like a custom video game character designed by a 14.
Or sure, one of those guys isn't wearing a sleeve. A sleeve? What? Like Ryan Reynolds? Oh, I mean possibly, but it still looks terrible. Inflates biceps, making them big and round. Voice Critical talks about this sometimes because it looks silly and a Russian guy died from doing it too much. Yeah, you'll die. You'll fucking kill yourself. And you know what? It will be the most unglamorous death imaginable. Okay? People will laugh at you as you die. Do you want that? Do you really want that? Okay?
Year-old with Asperger's syndrome, and he's training to be a meme.
What did he say?
This
He still says
guy
Asperger's.
looks like a custom video game character designed by
True.
a 14-year-old with Asperger's syndrome.
Okay, the delivery needs work. What you need to say is, this looks like an autistic 14-year-old got a hold of WWE, okay? The WWE character creator and went a little too ham with it. That's what you're supposed to say.
And he's training
Delivery.
to be a meme. We live in a fantasy world, a world of illusion.
Jesus Christ! Oh, Mount Everest over here. And Mount Rushmore over here, although it's not in the shape of the actual Mount Rushmore. This is the first mountain that came to mind.
Task in life is to find reality. The only thing that is not fake in his
Christ.
life is his
You know what
parents'
wait!
disappointment.
I know what's going on here. Here, he's right here. There it is. Da, 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 da. He's real, boys. He's really real. It's him. It's Hideo. It even kind of looks like him, like the facial hair and everything. He's got the widow's peak going on. Like, he could do the real Hideo cosplay. That's crazy. The real Hideo cosplayer has shown up. He's arrived.
And this guy over here is celebrating, not because he survived
What the
another
fuck?
year, but because
Okay, I'll be honest. This one, it still looks gross as shit, but it looks more real than the others so far, at least.
the oil prices dropped. And also, he got offered a lot of money.
But, like, you can see it's, like, squeezed like a fucking sausage tube right here. Like, this doesn't look real. You're not fooling anybody, man.
From Germany,
You at least got to do it in the
they wanna buy
forearms,
oil
too.
From his arms and quads to have a warm winter. He's dancing the traditional folk dance. Meanwhile, here in Somali oil in East Africa, there's one fake guy sitting in his car.
What the fuck?
The kids touch him. He's like the
Ew, I don't like that. That's grody. Ew.
first slice of bread in the packet.
Don't like.
Everyone touches him, but no one wants him.
The ultimate curse. Everyone touches you, but nobody wants you. I wish girls would touch me. The finger on the monkey's paw curls. You become an oil juicer.
There is more cooking oil inside his arms than in the entire country. Here are
Sorry,
two
it's
guys,
quiet.
no brain, and they are training to be a balloon. Most of us wake up and
Oh,
put
God.
on a shirt. This guy wakes up and puts on his wool closet. And no, this is not a preview of Shrek 5. You can't find
Jesus
him on
Christ.
OnlyFans because he prefers only hams. And the only thing that deserves respect
That's awful. He
here
looks
is
like
the
Balloon
chair.
Man.
This guy isn't big at all.
He looks like he just hit gear 4th.
Fakes it by wearing hundreds of clothes, which make him look like he ate Eddie Hall.
He's lifting my man's lifting a 25 like this, man. This is what I'm telling you. Like, no shade to anybody who needs to just lift a 25 doing this exercise, but I can lift a 45 doing this. Several, like probably, I mean, at least 20 reps. Probably not anymore, but I don't know. Like, he's not strong. That's the point. He's not strong. He's not even doing the workout very well.
The reason why someone is holding his hand is because
body
he's
expansion
like a
jutsu.
balloon. A balloon full of helium. And if you let go, he flies up in the sky.
True.
This gym here is made for
That's a funny
bulking
picture.
season. People are training and Abuela is making the
I
pancakes
told you, it's like gear 4th.
and tacos.
Bounce Man.
Plus, you see childcare in the background. This house is called Casa de Bulk. and you will never miss your anabolic window again.
Okay.
These are the tacos de pollo for the proteína. You don't sign
That's
up,
pretty
you
sick.
get invited. And meanwhile, the real-life Furby is
Oh.
sleeping. He got 99 problems,
Oh
but
my
the shirts
God.
ain't one. He will
You literally gotta you gotta take one of the obese chairs, man. Like, you caused this. You made it so that you now have to take one of the obese chairs. That's rude as shit.
sleep and rest until
Like, other people
someone
actually
wakes him
need
up
that.
with the poke flute. Every year on Thanksgiving, he's invited to every party because he is the turkey. And he's not willing to pay for luggage when he travels.
No,
At
no,
least they
that
are
weighs
training
nothing.
anywhere with anything. Just like this guy here on the bus. He's training with the seatbelt cables.
What?
He knows that the only bad workout is the one that didn't happen.
Why on the bus? Strongent. That's a 90 kilogram plate. He's just that large. True. I didn't think about that. Yeah, at least 200 pounds. Because he can't brace himself if he falls. He constantly does this. Yeah, it's just so weird. They're like LARPing as strong people. They're LARPing as strong men. Like, if I'm going to be a strong man, I'm going to be a strong man. And I've gotten close before. Like, not like, I've never gotten to the point where I'm like one of the strongest men on the fucking planet or anything like that. I wasn't like blown out to like 5 inches or anything like that. But I was pretty fucking strong at one point, you know? And I'm proud of that. And I'll always be proud of that, even if I never get it back, which I will. But even if I never do, I'll always be proud of that. And this man has nothing to be proud. This is the AI art of the fitness world. This is the AI art of the fitness world. That's what this is. They did it first.
Anyway, you guys, always remember...
Like, this guy's fine, but, like, don't do that on the bus, man.
At the end of the day,
It's weird.
it's night, and every little thing is gonna be alright. If it's not alright,
What are you doing?
it's not the end.
Oh, is this like a joke? Oh, I see. He's training to go out. That's funny. Okay, that's funny. I like this. This is good. This is my new workout. Perfect. Perfect form. 10 out of 10. Perfect form. What a Chad. Okay, that last one was legit though. But no, don't do this. Obviously, if it goes without saying, hopefully, but in case anybody needed that wake-up call, please don't. Don't fill up your muscle fibers with oil. Okay, that's a bad thing to do. You will hurt yourself and possibly die. All right, so don't do that. It's very bad. No good, very bad, very dirty, very yucky. Just do it the natural way. Do it like the rest of us do it, right? Just train. Just train. And if you don't train, you won't get it. It's, you know, it's not a big deal. Nobody really cares. But, you know, if you want to look good for yourself like I do, then just go train, you know? Like I got to do. Just be human. Be human. Let the humanity take over. Let it flow through you for once in your life. Don't do the oil injections. You don't need them. Do not need them. I was so close to a 300-pound squat, and then I fell off. I'm so sorry, Jake. I got a 425-pound squat, I think, at my best. My best bench press was 375. I did that once. Well, no, I lifted it twice, but that was my best. That was my best set ever. 375. I've never done a 1-rep max higher than that either. And then on deadlift, what's 5 plates? 225, 450, 495. I think I've been up to 525, but I'm not sure. So just to be safe, I'll say 515. Because that'd be 5 plates plus a 10. So 515. We'll just call it that. I'm 21, still got time. Nice, I'm 28, so I'm running out of time. It's all good, though. I was at Muscle Girly at 4. Muscle Girly at 4, Jesus. Not impossible, though. Muscle Girly for a while. It isn't as hard as it seems. What I will say is there was a guy, since I accidentally brought it up, I used to coach gymnastics. A lot of people don't know this. I haven't brought it up in a while. I used to coach gymnastics, and there was this kid that I coached, and he was 6 years old, right? And this kid was cut. Like, he had a 6-pack like nothing I've ever seen, right, on a kid. And he was super happy, too. It's not like his parents were abusing him. He just had very good natural core strength. It was insane, right? So he's 6 years old. His core strength is so good that, like, there's this move called the back hip circle, where you're on the bar like this, right? You're, like, up on the bar. So these are your legs, and you swing your legs like this back and forth, and you do what's called a cast. All right? And then when you cast like this, you bring your legs up and around the bar. So if this is the bar, they go around the bar, and then you end up back here, right? It's a back hip circle. And you're supposed to use your momentum, right? You're supposed to use your momentum to get around. And that's the part that all the kids have trouble with, is using that momentum to spin yourself around. Because most kids, what they'll do is, and most people, is they'll cast, and then they'll try to like circle all the way around, and then they'll fall halfway through it, right? And when I say fall, I mean they're still grabbing the bar, but their legs come down. So they don't make it. But this kid, where I'm going with this, is this kid would have his legs like this, and then he'll muscle his way. He'll use no momentum, just muscle his way around the bar and then back here. And I've never had to say this to another kid before, but I told him, you know you're cheating, right? You're literally cheating because you're too strong. Yeah, at 6 years old. This kid was insane. He literally, I shouldn't have been coaching him, but he was so good that he actually skipped a grade, like in gymnastics, I guess. He skipped a grade. And he joined like the 8 and 10-year-olds. Yeah, I mean, he was super good. He was really good. And he was all smiles all the time. He looked just like his mom. It was so cute. And there was only one time I ever really had a problem with him. He just had an off day. Just was not happy that day. But other than that, he was just the happiest little guy. And that day, like, I was disappointed. I was like, oh, my little guy. My guy's upset. Who hurt my man? Who hurt my man? You're doing it wrong? This is hard mode? Well, it's super impressive, don't get me wrong, but you will get points off if you don't do it correctly. You're supposed to use your momentum, not your core muscles. Part of gymnastics is knowing what to use and when. Okay? If you look like you don't know what you're doing, you will get points off. And it looked like he did not know what he was doing. He was just strong enough that it didn't matter. I didn't get well, I didn't want to bring up the dolphin fetus either. I thought I did really good in that debate. I thought it was solid.
Your cash are off to college. Between his tuition and your credit card balances,
See what Matt Walsh is up to.
You don't know how you're gonna pay for any of it. If only there were some place to turn. Just ask your home.
All right, so
Your home's got equity, and with Rocket Mortgage, you can use it to get cash.
Is Shaq
quickly
right
for
about
whatever
women?
you need. Visit justaskyourhome.com today. Call 1-800-863-4332 for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org. Number 30.
None of these interest me. Yeah, none of these interest me. Let's try Michael Knowles.
If you start
Cringe white guilt TikToks. Ew. I don't know. I'm not in the mood for any of these dumbasses. Matt Walsh being evil, true. Michael, you guys want to look at Michael Knowles? I think it's good you implied it on stream, though, for the vid. Oh, yeah, for sure. Tim Pool hitting on Kristen Stewart was kind of funny. Who's Kristen Stewart again? Oh, oh, yeah, she's that one actress, yeah. Kristen Stewart. Oh, wait, is this it? Kristen Stewart cover proves going woke makes people ugly. Studies prove the right is better looking. Oh, I've got to see this.
Stone.
Yeah, we'll do one long react. We haven't done a long react in a minute. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I might be a few minutes. So enjoy the music in the meantime, and I'll be right back.
Introducing Uber Teen Accounts, an Uber account for your teen with always-on enhanced safety features. Your teen can request a ride when you can't take them. You'll get real-time notifications
All right, I'm back.
along the way. Your teen can feel a sense of...
Shut up! Okay. Turn this up, see.
So Rolling Stone...
Okay. All right, let's get started. So Kristen Stewart is an actress that exists. I don't really know that much about her work except for Twilight. I know that she was in that, and it was a really weird movie, but whatever, right? So she's an actress that exists, and Tim Pool appears to be upset at how ugly she's gotten. Now, I don't have an opinion on that. Frankly, I just don't care very much whether she's ugly or not. Like, it's subjective. But Tim Pool cares enough to make an entire video about it. So let's take a look at what's going on in the brain of my evil twin brother.
So Rolling Stone did a cover with Kristen Stewart. Of course, everybody knows Kristen Stewart from Twilight. So following this, there was widespread criticism of the photo shoot because Kristen Stewart used what they describe as masculine coded props, like a jock strap and a leather vest or whatever. Following the criticism, Rolling Stone published this. Right-wingers are terrified of our gay Kristen Stewart cover. We'd honestly be surprised if they could name a movie she's done since Twilight. It is hard to think of any movies that she's done, to be completely honest. But I did see American Ultra. I don't know, I think that was 10 years ago. And Snow White. And what else is she in? I don't know what else she's in, to be completely honest. And I think the funny thing about this is saying that we'd be surprised if they could name a movie she's done since Twilight.
I can't. I don't give a shit. Who cares?
Is kind of the point. So there is some speculation that a move like this from Kristen Stewart doing like this shocking photo shoot is desperation. She's not a big movie star anymore. I mean, to be fair,
she looks good, but I'm gay, so I'm biased. Fair enough.
Like Twilight was big when it was big, but you know, Robert Pattinson, that was big for him. I know he wasn't a big fan of it, but he also did Harry Potter. And Kristen Stewart, that was big for her, and she's done like some movies since then, I guess. I mean, come on.
But like, who cares? I just don't care.
You can't name a movie that she's done since Twilight.
Also, this seems like really liberal bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, they're doing the girl power thing. So what? So what? So what? Just let them do girl power. They earned it. You know how fucking hard girls have had it in the past? Like in the gays too. You know how hard they've had it? Just let them have their little girl power moment. Just let them have it. Who cares?
Here's what's funny about this. I would like Rolling Stone to know I am not terrified in any way of your cover. In fact, I didn't even comment on it
Want to call
until
it cringe?
now.
Okay, they're allowed to be
and
cringe.
now I'm going to. I can't speak for other anti-woke social media accounts, but I'm going to start this segment off very simply before reading their criticism, and then I want to show you some examples. Kristen Stewart looks gross. I'm not trying to...
Okay, dude. What are you, in fucking 6th grade? Ew, she looks yucky. Ew. Ew, she looks yucky. Ew.
What do you mean? I don't know or care for Kristen Stewart. I don't care that she dresses how she wants to dress. And I honestly didn't care that Rolling Stone did the cover with her.
Okay.
But if you want to play this game and talk about what's going on, I'll tell you where I'm at.
Oh, man. Where is he going with this? This should be fun.
When the Gamergate stuff was happening, my attitude for all the video games that were getting woke was, hey, man, more power to you. You make your video game, that's great. I won't buy it. Rolling Stone runs the cover of a greasy-looking, disheveled individual who looks like they have become a drug addict.
What? What? Like, okay, her bangs are a little messy. I agree with that, but like, who cares? Who gives a who cares? Like, why do you care about this? Why is this newsworthy? This is not newsworthy, man. Come on. People are dying and shit. Cover some real shit.
And that was a little bit harsh.
Go back to the border. At least that's real news, you know? Like, okay, talk about the border. At least it's real news. People care about it. You know, nobody gives a shit about this. Who's talking about Kristen Stewart?
But yeah, I'm just not going to mince words here. I'm not going to buy your magazine.
He's going hard.
Do whatever you want to do. I'm not
really
terrified of a woman who looks bad, and she doesn't care that I think she looks bad.
I'm not scared of her. I'm not scared. What, you guys think I'm scared? Who the fuck? Who said I'm scared? Hey, Jamie. Did anybody say I'm scared? No, wait, Jamie's Joe Rogan's guy. I get them confused sometimes. I forget who his guy is. His little, I don't know, his computer whore. I forget who his computer whore is.
Bad. She probably doesn't care for my opinions.
Look it up for her.
She probably thinks I look bad. She's gay. She can say that if she wants. That's fine.
What?
The point I'll bring up.
Oh, so if she weren't gay, then it wouldn't be fine. Okay.
Is what I don't understand about Rolling Stone or whatever. And I guess I do understand, but why do you have to look like a drug addict to be a queer icon or whatever?
She doesn't look like a drug addict.
Sincerely, you take a
look.
If
anything, she looks a little sleep deprived, maybe. But then again, who doesn't? Tim Pool looks sleep deprived. Like Tim Pool looks more like a drug addict than she does. Dog, you look like you belong like outside of a fucking abandoned building. You know, like what are you talking about? Get some drip.
Look at the older photos of Kristen Stewart.
Get rid of the hat.
Obviously, she was gay back then.
Embrace bald.
She was gay then, and she's gay now. She didn't just become gay. But what about that made her decide to, I don't know, not clean her face and hair? No, seriously.
By the way, sometimes you do just like decide that, like, you know, I don't want to say that you like choose to be gay. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes you just have been holding back feelings for a long time and then you come out. You know, that's called being a closeted gay person. Or maybe you just don't know yet, you know? All kinds of things can happen. You can also be socially influenced a little bit to some extent. Sure, I'll accept that. I'll bite that bullet. But, like, it doesn't matter. None of it matters, okay? Because being gay is fine. The only reason that he's tearing into her right now is because they're calling her gay. It's the only reason. It's just homophobia. That's all it is.
The photos of her.
And
look,
misogyny.
I'm going to be kind of a dick on this one, but I look, I don't care.
He looks like
to
the
get
dealer.
into a spat with any celebrities or
that's giving
whatever.
him too much credit.
Woke are gonna scream and cry. That's fine. You do whatever you want. I'm going to say it plainly.
I'm screaming and crying and shitting actually and shitting
bluntly. Okay, Kristen Stewart before looked like she took care of herself. She wore makeup
before she caught the gay.
Not a big fan of makeup, but that's fine. Her face was clean.
Oh, sure you're not.
And
buddy.
She did her hair up and things like that. Kristen Stewart in the Rolling Stone magazine looks like.
Imagine spending 2 hours doing your makeup for a date just for the guy to be like, oh, I'm not a big fan. Yeah, you know, I'm not a big fan of makeup. You know, it's just like, it's not for me. Like, that's not attractive, man. People don't put on makeup for you. They put it on for themselves.
She just rolled out of bed and threw on some, I don't know, like Goodwill thrift store clothes.
That's not wrong.
It looks like she looks homeless. You know, for me...
Again, just like... Again, it's just ironic. It's just ironic, that's all.
It strikes a little bit close to home, because I'll tell you.
It does look thrift store, but who cares?
Hair looks
like most of my clothes anymore come from the thrift store.
It really does remind me of friends that I've had who, when they became drug addicts, let themselves go. I'm not saying she's a drug addict.
So you're saying this is an emotional and traumatic response then from you, Tim? I don't know. I just thought that, like, from a facts and logic guy, that wouldn't be the direction to go.
To me, in my experience in my life, what they show up...
Yeah, she has a full face of makeup on for the shoot. Like, she's got eyeliner and shit. Even I can see it, all right? If I can see the makeup, then anybody should be able to see it.
I'm like, yeah, that looks like a friend of mine, a couple friends that I'd known throughout my life, and many of you probably know the same thing. They went from wearing, like...
Also, have you ever considered that this is a photo shoot and she's supposed to look a little disheveled? Have you considered that this is on purpose, that this might be art? You know, like, has anybody ever actually considered that? Like, she's clearly dressed up messily on purpose. She doesn't present herself in public like this. And even if she did, who gives a shit? All right, she's dressed. She's covering the bits. Who cares? Like, I just don't give a shit.
Clean clothes, and they would clean their hair, and they would dry it. And even the guys. And then once started getting into drugs, they got thin and gaunt. They stopped taking care of themselves, and then they looked greasy. They just didn't care anymore.
Well, sure.
Maybe the
But to
reality
be fair, you're also thin and gaunt, man. Like, let's be real.
is for someone like Kristen Stewart, she doesn't care anymore. Okay, that's fine. And maybe that a component of
What do you mean she doesn't care? This was a shoot. This was so clearly a photo shoot. Here, let's look at the article. They usually tag it. Right-wingers are terrified of our gay Kristen Stewart. Cover. Right-wingers are terrified of our gay Kristen Stewart. Cover. Kristen Stewart. Collier's Shore for Rolling Stone. Yeah, oh shit. Was that allowed? It wasn't showing anything. I think it's fine. Editor, cut that out just in case. But I think it's fine.
Why people look disheveled after starting drugs is because it's not the drugs, it's they don't care anymore. But let me read the story for you, and then I want to show photos.
It was like wearing a thong, basically. Not a thong. It's like wearing a swimsuit.
Talk about the issue of far left and attractiveness and the right and attractiveness, because it is a scientific
Tim
fact.
does look worse than she does.
And the left can cry about this all day and night. Conservatives tend to be more attractive. More attractive people tend to be conservative. Whatever the correlation may be, it's there.
Wait, who says this?
Because it is a scientific fact. And the left can cry about this all day and night. Conservatives tend to be more attractive. More attractive people tend to be conservative.
According to what study, man? I'm more attractive than you are. So that's kind of odd.
Whatever the correlation may be, it's there.
What
Rolling
study?
Stone, right?
Wait, does he source that? Of course not. Why would I think he would source that?
It's ever
so
since 2012,
subjective.
when Trump wrote a string of tweets about how Robert Pattinson should dump her, Kristen Stewart has occupied.
Yeah, the stats do say that women don't want to date conservative men. That's a great point, Zumi dear. The stats say that women are not dating conservative men. No matter what, well, I'm sure if you're a conservative woman, you're more likely to date a conservative man. But, like, conservative men are miserable husks, dude. Like, they don't provide anything except for misery. Maybe some money, but, it's not worth it for the misery that you get on top of that. Find a good man who can give you money. You know what I mean? Not like Tim Pool.
Curious space in the conservative imagination. She hasn't. Most people don't. As
Clearly,
Rolling Stone even pointed
clearly,
out,
he's demonstrating
most
this.
people don't even know what movies she's been in. It was being reminded of those comments as
Including
she revealed,
you, apparently,
as she's
but you
revealed
care
in
enough
Rolling
about
Stone's
this.
March cover story that inspired Stewart to come out as gay in an SNL monologue 5 years later, shedding once and for all the waif-like image thrust upon her by the Twilight Saga, the vampire romance movies everybody knows about, blah blah. Okay, so here we have
Jesus
this.
Christ.
This is I don't know what YouTube's rules are on showing a Rolling Stone cover.
Yeah, that's pretty. That one was pretty blatant. But he's getting away with it, so clearly it's fine for me.
But she's wearing what looks like a pleather vest. Not leather, it looks fake.
By the way, if it's not fine for me, I'm going to, if they try to demonetize me for this shit, I'm going to report his video too.
With weights behind her, and she's sticking her hand in a jockstrap.
Yeah, that's pretty,
It looks... She looks like a drug addict.
But it's a cover! She didn't decide that pose. Okay? She didn't decide the makeup or the attire. It's a cover. She agreed to it, but it's an artistic cover. It's a photo shoot. Like, are you stupid? Do you not know how photo shoots work? Yeah, she looks disheveled. She looks sultry. You're right. That's the point. That's kind of the whole point, man.
I mean that.
Yeah, drug addicts only wear jock straps.
I don't know
Another
how
great
else
point.
to describe what I see when I see this. Greasy hair, ill-kempt, strange
It's a shoot.
haircut style. Look,
It's
the people
it's
that
a
I knew
photo
that started doing
shoot.
drugs didn't go and buy haircuts anymore. The men and women that I knew that were taking care of themselves, guys, obviously, they go in, they spend $10, they get a trim, right? The women that I knew were spending like a...
No, you and I both know that if we were drug addicts, we would not be going in for a trim, man. The whole thing's coming off. Whatever little bits are there. You and me are in that bed together, brother.
100 or more, and probably way more than that. And they had like dedicated stylists. And friends of mine were actual stylists and rented chairs at salons and had clients and all that stuff. And it's wild. Women know better than I do. That's what they do. The people that I knew who got into drugs just stopped caring, and they would take scissors and go whoosh to their hair and be like, my hair's too long. Or they would, honestly, they'd be like, can you cut my hair? It's too long.
But have you considered that, like, the point of the shoot may have been to make her look like kind of a drug addict? You know? Like, maybe that was the point. Yeah, she looks disheveled. What of it? It's an artistic... I stress this. It's an artistic shoot. So if he's just going to babble the entire time about how ugly she looks, like, get mad at the people who did the shoot, not her. Here, let's look. Here, let's look how she presents herself, like, in public, shall we? Kristen Stewart. When she's just out and about. God damn, ma'am. Holy shit. See, she don't look like no drug addict there. God damn, ma'am. She slays, dude. Holy shit, she slays. Christ almighty. Look at this one. This one's probably a little older if I had to guess, but holy shit. Look at that one. That's beautiful. Sorry, you guys can't see real well. Because of the chat. Here, I'll move the chat for a second. Oh, yeah, here we go. But yeah, look at that. Slaying, dude. Absolutely slaying. Ain't no drug addicts here. Just a photo shoot, man. Get over it.
It was kind of sad. They say the visibility of celebrities like Stewart,
why is it sad?
Lesser-known LGBTQ individuals, has been interpreted by far-right agitators as evidence that young people are being groomed. Whatever. I don't know. I don't have anything to say about that. I think they're just promoting someone who looks greasy.
Wait, you have said things about that, though. You would agree with those same conservatives if they said that.
I really don't know what else to say. I think this, the only thing I can say about this is, I don't know that this has anything to do with grooming. I think she just looks like she doesn't care anymore. It's kind of depressing that she gave up. Christopher Rufo, primary architect of the AstroTurfed conservative panic over critical race theory in schools, and avowed enemy of DEI.
She agreed to the photo shoot, and that's when she knew. That was the moment she knew that her life was over. She gave up. She showed up to the photo shoot looking like a drug addict. That's the narrative, right? That's the story that he's painting for us.
Had an initially rabid take on the images of Stewart.
This is how I know.
He argued that queerness is an ideology.
I agreed to this photo shoot.
Is an ideology and appears to make people miserable. In the same post, he purposefully dead-named actor Elliot Page, a trans man, claiming media depictions of him and Stewart are intended to demoralize. I don't know about that.
Hold on. What happened? In the same post, he purposefully dead-named the actor Elliot Page, a trans man. Who said this? Christopher Rufo. Yeah. I've heard of that guy. Claiming media depictions of him and Stewart are intended to demoralize.
Him and Stewart are intended to demoralize. I don't know.
Queer is an ideology, not a sexuality, and it appears to make people miserable. They put dismal pictures of Ellen Page or Kristen Stewart under headlines with words like joy, family, happiness, propaganda that intends to demoralize. Well, you have no evidence to show that it makes people miserable, except like a few screenshots of people who look miserable and happen to be gay. Wow, what a revelation that gay people can be sad sometimes, and you can find pictures of gay people being sad sometimes. Like, that doesn't mean that being gay makes you sad or being trans makes you sad. That just means that you found a picture of a gay or trans person who's currently sad. Like a human. Like, why do we hold trans and gay people up to such this high standard where they're not allowed to commit any crimes, they're not allowed to be ever sad or depressed or anything, that, like, they're not allowed to have any kind of, like, sorrows or tribulations or strife? They're not allowed. They're not allowed, because if you do, all that means is that being gay didn't fix you. It didn't fix you to come out. It didn't fix you to be trans, right? Of course it didn't. Because you were always trans. It's not being trans or gay that broke you. What broke you, if you're broken, is society. That's what broke you. All right?
About that, I don't know about that. Like, I'm quite literally saying, like, I don't know. What I've heard is that the general idea with Kristen Stewart looking disheveled and greasy is a rejection of beauty norms.
I'm playing the tiniest violin. Nice.
Right. Now, in my view, it sounds like you don't care anymore. Do you agree? If you do, then we have no argument. I don't think
married hetero couples with children are some of the saddest people I've ever met. They treat parenting like it's a fucking death sentence. Like, oh, my life is over now. Hey, you just got hitched, didn't you? Guess your life's over now, buddy, right? Which in our current society, unfortunately, that's true in many ways, right? It's true in many ways. But I see a future where that's not true, where you can have kids and still be happy, all right? Yeah, the ball and chain, right? Like, you should give up some of your not responsibilities. You should give up some of your freedoms for your kids. I'm not saying that. You will always have to do that. But that should be a trade-off that you're making to improve your own life. Your children should make you happy too. Okay? Your life does not have to be miserable just because you have kids. And if you think that having kids is going to make your life miserable, then don't have fucking kids. Don't have them. Why would you have them? They're going to make you miserable. Don't. Okay? And that's going to make them miserable by default. Because they're going to feed off of that information that you're feeding them, that they make you miserable. Why would you do that to your kids? Don't. Again, conservatives just hate kids. They just hate kids.
Kristen Stewart cares anymore. She looks greasy, and her hair looks like she doesn't take...
She doesn't look greasy here. She looks like a greaser. She looks like a greaser from like a 70s or 80s movie, but that's hot as shit. She looks hot as shit here. She is slaying like a motherfucker. Better than you ever could. At least I got close. At least I got close in my heyday, man. Of, a year and a half ago. I'll get close again, guys.
Take care of it at all. Kaya Rychik, who, lives of TikTok.
You could never.
Wrote disgusting in response
to He's just jealous,
London.
man.
Uh-huh. And, look, I mean... Her hair is greasy. And
yeah, right here. Okay, yes, it is true that right here she looks a little weird. Okay, she looks like she's slumped. She looks like she's kind of disheveled. But that's the appeal. That's the art. Oh, beautiful. Oh, it's so good to pizza. It's so good to pizza pie. Okay, why don't you have a taste, man? Maybe that's the problem. He hasn't tasted a good pizza pie in a while. If you catch my drift.
It's cut strangely.
A spicy meatball. Try one.
I gotta be honest. It looks like her haircut was just cut by a friend.
Get a taste.
And it doesn't. Not trying to style it in any way. Not trying to look good. Ian Miles Chong said, "What did Hollywood do to Kristen Stewart?" I don't know that Hollywood did anything.
Wait.
Hollywood do to Kristen Stewart?
Wait.
I don't know that Hollywood did.
Fuck. Sorry. I don't know how that
anything.
happened.
I think she just Stewart. I don't know that.
Stop.
Ian Miles Chong said, "What did?"
Okay. What did Hollywood do to Kristen Stewart? I don't know. What did it do? Apparently, it did something.
Hollywood do to Kristen Stewart? I don't know that Hollywood did anything.
Fine. She looks fine.
I think she just doesn't care. Look,
is she gay?
I really
like,
do mean
who
this
cares?
when I say, I've had friends who fall into drug abuse, and it's sad. And
they're just doing this because she came out as gay or lesbian or whatever, or bisexual. I don't know what she is. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It's inconsequential to my life. It's not like I have a chance with Kristen Stewart. Oh, just Kirsten, whatever. Kirsten Stewart. Is it Kristen? I think it's Kristen. They just misspelled it. But like, oh yeah, no, like I'm just upset that Kristen Stewart's a lesbian now, and I can't fantasize about wooing her and sweeping her off her feet like you do, right, man? Like you do.
Hollywood,
like you totally would be able to do. You would pull that off,
didn't
man.
Make them have greasy mullets. It was that they didn't care anymore. They didn't care to look good for anybody else. The only thing they needed was that next hit. I am not saying Kristen Stewart is a drug addict. I'm saying there is a similarity between I just don't care anymore at all how I look. And
okay, kids, line up. I got the woke powder. Oh, that's good. Oh, I'm feeling woke.
Whatever is going on with Rolling Stone and trying to show that.
My hair's turning blue.
That's totally fine.
Oh,
I don't care at all.
I'm 50 times more gay now.
I firmly believe Rolling Stone can present this in any way they want, and the end result is that the average person will find it not attractive.
Non-binary vibes.
So by all means, talk about the great queerness of Kristen Stewart and whatever you want to say, and the average person will see.
My pronouns are changing at 1,000,000 miles a minute. It's cycling through. Z-zer. Oh man, now it's star self. Wait, no, we're back to he, him, but also she, her, but not they, them. If you say they, them, then I'll fucking murder you. Like, this is so goofy.
Someone who is greasy and unkempt.
That's how my hair turned blue?
The
nice.
reason why humans have
too much woke powder.
Not all humans, but most, to like someone who looks
dirty
good
shit.
is that, back in the day, if you were dirty, you have disease. You weren't cleaning, and that was a problem. It's funny that humans didn't really understand the
Okay, I'm going to be real. I like it when my girl's got a little grime. You know what I mean? Like, just a little bit of living on her. You know what I mean? A little bit of life. A little bit of nature. It's nice. It's nice. It's human. I like that, okay? I like the natural scent. a little bit. I like the natural wear and tear of the day on my girl. It tells me that she's alive. It tells me she has a beating fucking heart, unlike those Barbies that you probably jerk off to, man. Like, what happened to the real men? Like, come on, you can't handle a little dirt, a little grease? What's wrong with you? Shut up.
The concept of washing your hands until like 1900 and something. There was a doctor who was like, maybe women will stop dying in childbirth if we wash our hands off. And then the doctor's like, what are you talking about?
Why not?
Today it's kind of like, duh. I also wonder about the doctors in the Civil War who could have just taken a bottle of rum or whiskey and splashed it over the wound, and the guy probably would have kept his leg. Now, far be it from me. I mean, it's antiseptic, but I don't know. I'm not a doctor. The point is, even though we didn't
yeah, it would be better than nothing, sure, but why do we get on this?
really understand the general idea of disgust, why we throw up when we see corpses or maggots or feces.
Oh, no, don't go there, man. Oh, no. This is going to get wild.
Is because it's a response. If you ingest these things, you could die. So humans this is evolution.
This is evolution. This is all evolution. I'm not a eugenicist, guys. I'm not a eugenicist. I'm just saying this is just natural. All of what I'm saying is about to be totally fine and cool and natural.
As humans are evolving, there are some humans that barf when they see things that are gross and some that don't. The ones that do are more likely not to be ingesting things that are toxic, poisonous, or whatever, and they're less likely to die of disease or like sepsis or something.
Come on.
And those who didn't care about it were probably less likely to succeed. This means that right now, we know this. Let me see. We'll jump to that one in a second. Here we go. Swan dating. Are right-wing people more attractive? A recent Danish study used machine learning to predict the political bias.
So without saying it, he basically just said that Kristen Stewart gives him the heebie-jeebies to the point that he wants to throw up as though he's seeing shit or vomit. Fuck you, man. That's disgusting. That's a real fucking human being you're talking about. That's a whole-ass person. That's a whole-ass person right there. How dare you? What if I said that about you? What if I said that about your fucking wife or your mom? Oh, you don't have a wife, do you? Dim Tool's single, isn't he? Right. Well, I have a wife coming up here, okay? I got a date where I'm getting married. So, I don't know where Dim Tool's at. Maybe if he were a little more like me, he'd get a bitch.
Of 3,323 people.
Maybe if he weren't so uptight about a little bit of grease on his ladies, you know what I mean? Oh, sorry, she's got like a little stank from work. She got a little pit stank from when she was working at her fucking job. Okay, what of it? What of it? Okay, I still go down. Who cares?
Based only an analysis of their faces, its accuracy was 61%, a good amount better than chance. What's more, it found that good-looking faces were more likely to belong to right-wing candidates, adding to an increase.
Hold on. Are right-wing people more attractive? I have got to see where this study comes from. Swan. Let's see. Swan dating. All right, so what's the Swan dating website? Dating for humans. No more swiping. No more boring profiles. Swan dating. Twitter. Making dating better. Research about love, chemistry, biology, and more. Simply learning to flirt can revolutionize your romantic prospects. An exceptionally happy Valentine's Day to all of our wonderful followers, blah, blah, blah. It was a lovely experience, far better. Girl, they did. Wait, what? They should make a dating app for people who lament the commodification of the self and the transactional nature. Oh, God. Is this a leftist? But also fear they may never experience romantic love and don't know how to meet people organically. Dude, that's so lame, though. Here's a review. I recently discovered this dating experience through Instagram and had my first date. Although it wasn't a perfect match, there was enough there that was correct that I had a really enjoyable time. The removal of awkward matching, texting, chatting, and made the experience feel completely painless. And however they do it, the person they matched me with was actually a great fit in many ways. Price was worth it. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, this seems so robotic. They're like, oh, thank God we could skip the awkward talking phase, right? Oh, thank God we could skip the awkward getting to know each other part of this entire discussion, right? Oh, yeah, no, it's good. It's great. It's great. We don't even talk to each other. What? What's talking? What? What do you mean talking? No, none of that. A recent Danish study. Here, let's see Danish study. Used machine learning to predict the political bias of 3,323 people based on only analysis of their faces. Its accuracy was 61%, a good amount better than Chan's. 61% accuracy? Wait, what does that even mean? What does that mean? Wait, what does that mean? 61% accuracy for what? For whether or not they... For what? Wait, for whether... Wait, what? Hold on, I gotta see this. Using deep learning to predict ideology from facial photographs, expressions, beauty, and extra facial information. This seems psychotic. We combine convolutional neural networks, heat maps, facial expression coding, and classification of identifiable features such as masculinity and attractiveness in our study of political ideology in 3,323 Danes. Predictive accuracy from the neural network was 61% in each gender. Okay. Wait, predictive accuracy from the neural network? Predictive accuracy for what? Oh. It's saying that like the machine would predict who the most attractive one was, and it only got 61% correct. That's kind of shit. That's actually kind of shit. Like, statistically speaking, that doesn't mean anything. You could have just gotten randomly lucky. Model predicted ideology correlated with aspects of both facial expression, happiness versus neutrality, and morphology. Uh-oh. Heat maps highlighted the... Oh, God. No, this just straight up just seems like some eugenic shit. Why the fuck can people just not find what they find attractive? Why does it got to be, oh, conservatives are the more attractive ones. Oh, the liberals are the more... Who cares? Just go fuck people. Just go fuck the people that you like. You know, we all like different things. Go fuck the ones that you like. Who cares? Who gives a shit? It's so stupid.
Its
Who
accuracy
cares?
was 61%.
No, guys, I swear that I'm attractive. Let me point to a study that shows you guys why I'm attractive. It's pathetic.
Better than chance. What's more, it found that good-looking faces were more likely to belong to right-wing candidates, adding to an increasingly substantial literature that finds conservative people more attractive.
Thank you. I
They go on to mention several more studies that find this. Now, there's a lot to break down here, but
61% means that actually 39% of the time it'd be wrong, NB Pal. And that can be explained by random chance, okay? There is enough of a uncertainty factor there that I don't believe that. Like, I'm sure that, like, okay, let me grant them this. There is a conventionally attractive standard. We all agree on that, right? Like, obviously, if you have a woman who's 300 pounds and 5'6", and you have a woman who's 5'6" and 140 pounds, the vast majority of people are going to say that the 140-pound woman looks more pretty. Okay, that's just a fact of life, for right now, at least. And that's largely due to social influence and all these other factors, et cetera. But that's the fact, right? That's the fact of the matter. So yes, there is going to be a slight lean in that direction because the machine can only predict who is the more attractive one based on human input. So humans who are subjective in nature had to say, yeah, this person is more attractive. You have to predict that this person will be more attractive. Like, there's still a conflicting factor there. Like, you're still having just arbitrary humans like decide which traits are the more attractive ones, you know, when that changes with time and with society. So the study doesn't mean anything. It's not like a good study at all.
I think it really comes down to,
doesn't tell us anything either.
If you're an attractive person, life's probably easier for you. Thus, you'll think to yourself, if I could do it, why don't you? If you're ugly, you're probably going to be a collectivist because people are not as nice to you.
Does exist.
You might be a bit more bitter of a person. The trope
but that's not true. No, like, but that's not true at all. Did they conclude that in the study? I don't think they do. They don't even say that in the study. Here, let's look at their conclusion. Discussion. Our results confirm the threat to privacy posed by deep learning approaches. Wait, that's what the study was for? Using a pre-developed and readily available network that was trained and validated exclusively on publicly available data, we're able to predict... Okay, so it was trained on data. We were able to predict the ideology of the pictured person roughly 60% of the time in 2 samples. We also found the existing practice in which non-facial information is typically included in the small boxes surrounding a face. We also provided the first demonstration that model-predicted ideology connects to independently classifiable features of the face. Okay, but it doesn't mean anything. There's no reason to study this. High attractiveness scores were found among those the model identified as likely to be conservative. These results are credible given that previous research using human raters has also highlighted a link between attractiveness and conservatism. Recall that we use photographs provided by the candidates themselves, blah, blah, blah. Because attractiveness generally helps electoral success, all candidates are incentivized to provide an attractive photograph. But that's subjective. That's entirely subjective. A photograph that you like for yourself, you might like it for different reasons other than you look attractive. Maybe you just think you looked good. You know, maybe not attractive, but you look good. You know, it's a good picture that you like. That only makes this worse, not better. Further, the amateur nature of these candidates is a strength because the photos represent candidates for office. Oh, yeah, amateur nature. This is such a legit study, dude. Attractiveness was not the only correlate model of predicted ideology. Expressing happiness is associated with conservatism for both genders. What? Oh, I see. So, like, people were more likely to provide photos of themselves smiling if they were conservative. Well, yeah, because, like, smiling isn't always the most attractive thing to do in a picture. Like, what if I want to look sultry? What if I want to look, like something else? All this is telling me is that leftists know how to take pictures better without needing to smile. Which is true, by the way. Conservatives always have that plastic fucking smile on their face when they take pictures. Try something different for once. Smiling's fine, but try something different. The use of a politician sample represents a potential constraint on generality. The use of candidates for local office in Denmark attenuate this constraint. Blah, blah, blah. Further work might explore why our heat map show... Yeah, so, like... While the relevance of these regions to identify things such as whether a face is happy may seem straightforward, happiness correlated with model-predicted ideology. So, no! That's not it at all! No! They provided their own pictures! You didn't ask them about their happiness! You just made that assumption based upon the pictures they provided you in which they weren't smiling! What? This is such a bunk study! This is such a bunk study! There's no credibility here! Nothing! This is such a nothing study. I would throw this in the trash if you presented this to me. Like, oh, we got the results. Oh, of what? How attractive people are based upon, whether or not they're Democrat or Republican. What? Why would I ever care about that? Oh, yeah, we also found out that the people giving us the pictures where they're smiling, we said that those are happy people. We said that the ones where they're smiling are happy people. And then we said the ones where they're not smiling are not happy people. And as it turns out, we got more not smiling pictures from leftists than we got for not smiling pictures from conservatives. So we think that the leftists are the not happy people. What? Come again? Tell me how that makes one bit of sense, actually. This is the worst study I've ever seen.
That you go to the
fact
RNC
that Tim
and
Pool
you
can
see a
glean
lot of
anything from this only speaks to how stupid he is.
Tall men and a lot of busty women. And you go to the DNC, you see a lot of short men and fat women. And I'm not trying to be a dick.
My God.
It's true. They get so mad about this.
But you could see. Duh, you could see. Okay, ask them how happy they are. I don't give a shit how they look. They can look however they want. It's their life. Ask them how happy they are. I guarantee you that those conservative women are miserable husks.
The last time I did a segment on this, the Young Turks were like, Tim Pool's ugly, though. I don't care if you think I'm ugly. I don't care if you think a ton of MAGA chuds are ugly, as you'd call them.
You clearly do care, though. Otherwise, you wouldn't be going over this study. I don't care. I have never looked into this at all. And yet you have, Tim Pool, so you at least care more than I do.
Average, conservatives tend to be more attractive. I mean, case in point,
no, that's not a win. 61% is garbage.
Getting in shape and eating healthy relative to Democrats who are about being fat and being happy about it. It's just plainly obvious. And there's reasons why.
You're just upsetty spaghetti because you think fat people are yucky, okay? You just think they're yucky. That's all it is. You think fat people are yucky.
Not everybody, the majority of people do not find obesity attractive. I don't care that Kristen Stewart wants to look the way she wants to look. I don't care that Rolling Stone does it, and I don't fear it in any way. I can't speak for anyone else.
And yet here you are talking about it as though you fear it.
Vanity Fair.
Wait, that's a great photo. We just looked at that. She's slaying. She's slaying, dude. She's serving so much cunt right here. This is amazing.
From this photo, I believe, is from like a year or so ago. And yes, she looks greasy, like she doesn't take care of herself. Her hair.
No, her hair is very purposefully messy. This is all on purpose. Yeah, it's messy, but it's still got form to it. It's got volume. It looks great. Maybe if you had hair, you'd understand. I used to have hair, and I would try to give it volume, just like this. All right? But you must have been born bald and just been bald all the way up until now. Like, what are you talking about?
Looks like she just doesn't care anymore.
This is a baddie look as fuck.
That's fine. She doesn't have to do anything for me or look any way she doesn't
Apparently
want to look.
she does.
I have no issue with it whatsoever.
Nothing you're saying correlates with anything else that you're saying, man. Because you can't act like you don't care about this and then make an entire segment on it. The only reason I care about what you're saying is because it's good entertainment.
But in my opinion, when you look at Kristen Stewart now, it's like she's let herself go. That's totally fine. Let me pull up some other photos. This one's from 2016.
That's also amazing.
Despite the fact that she has a similar haircut, her hair looks clean and taken care of.
It looks
She's
clean
wearing
in the
makeup.
other one, too.
I don't care about the makeup stuff. But she doesn't look greasy.
Also, your hair should be a little bit greasy. Just so you know. Like, it should have a little bit of grease in it. Otherwise, it gets dry and crusty. Like, you don't want dry, crusty hair. I used to never put conditioner in my hair, and it was always, like, super dry. And then I put conditioner in it once, and Katie's like before I was bald. And she's like, oh, my God, your hair's so soft. And I'm like, huh? She's like, yeah, what'd you do with it? I'm like, I put conditioner in. She's like, you don't condition your hair? Like, it's like, you're supposed to condition it. It's supposed to glow.
See. Like somebody who wakes up, doesn't shower. Right. Now, if you're into that, and you can be.
By the way, you're only supposed to shower like once every 2 or 3 days.
It's totally
You're supposed
fine.
to let the natural oils
I don't think Kristen Stewart
build
has
up
to
a
do
little
anything
bit.
to prove herself to anybody. But I think it's fair to point out that a lot of the criticism you see people saying disgusting about it is because she looks like, well, it looks she looks like a drug addict. I mean, I feel bad saying it.
Exactly.
I'm not saying
Sweet
she's a drug
Blasphemy.
addict. I'm saying,
yeah, great point. This picture is also photoshopped to hell and back. Like, they probably brought in the neck. Like, you can see her collarbones have been like, it almost looks like her collarbones have just been completely edited out. Like, it's really soft right here. Like, I don't know. Like, it just looks photoshopped. She looks great,
I'll
but
say
it
it
looks
again. Like,
photoshopped.
I grew up
There's
in
no
Chicago,
definition.
lived in LA for a little bit, lived in Seattle. I knew people. You know, I had a friend in Chicago. You look at the pictures from high school. It looks like this. And then after high school, fell into drugs, heroin, and then every day just like sunken cheeks, greasy face,
That's fine
messy
to
hair
me,
that was
dear.
not washed or cleaned. And I'm like, man, that breaks my heart to see this. Like,
Why?
what happened? You just take care of yourself.
This concern trolling is such dog shit, man. Why are you concerned? You're not concerned for her. Stop acting concerned. Oh, I'm just concerned. No, you're not. You just think she's ugly. Just say she's ugly. Just say she's ugly. Just say it, because that's what this whole thing's about. Just say that she's ugly. Okay? You want to call her a drug addict? Fine. You want to say that she's homeless? Fine. Fine. You can say that she looks like those things, but at least say it. Stop acting like you're fucking concerned for her. It's disgusting. You're just a pussy.
It sucks.
And it's not a heroin look. Yeah.
So this is from an article. This is from 2016, and there's a bunch of other photos. This
Kirsten
is from
Stewart, the
2023.
good bad girl.
I mean, look, once again, I'm sorry. Like the hair, Kristen's hair is greasy.
Oh, Kristen.
I'll say it again.
forgetting.
Look. You can look.
Okay, yeah, it looks greasy here, but it's very clearly on purpose still. Like, she looks well dressed. Okay, and also I think it's a great look. I think she looks like tomboyish. What? It's cute. It's cute. That's exactly the kind of look that I love on a girl. Okay, tomboyish. It's a great look.
However you want to look, man. Stoner girl comedy. She's writing a stoner girl comedy. That's great, man. I wish you the best.
It's a
Maybe
great look.
the people that you've shifted
It
towards.
looks like she just got done playing a game of football with her buds. You know what I mean? Like, it's an aesthetic choice, and it looks great.
Will support you, and I hope you succeed. I hope there are many
you
people who
don't.
find you
No, you
attractive
don't.
and you live the life you want to live, and ain't nobody tells you what for. How about that?
No, you don't. You don't
In my
give a shit about
opinion,
her,
in-
except to shit on her, and that's it.
My life,
Yeah, almost
which
like a real
again
person.
I say has no bearing on yours or anybody who enjoys what.
Stop with all this prefacing. You're such a pussy. Stop it.
There are guys who like fat chicks.
Get some
I
help,
remember when
man.
Jordan Peterson was ragging on this fat chick on a cover, and I was like, hey, look, let the fat chicks have their day. Some people like fat chicks. I'm just saying, like, there's going to be a lot of people who are like, that's gross. What we end up
Listen,
seeing.
I just want to say also I've railed a fat chick before, okay? So love to my fat chicks, okay? Like, there's nothing wrong with you. Some people will find you attractive and some won't. You're just like anybody else, okay? You should try to take care of yourself. You should try to work out. You should try to eat healthy. But if you're fat, fuck it. Whatever. I'm
Seeing
fat
stuff
right
like
now.
this.
Who cares?
From them.us. Why is no one in the DMs? Dylan Mulvaney discussed dating as a trans woman. The TikTok star is, quote, somebody who should not be single. Look, man.
Goddamn.
I don't know what to tell you, okay? I saw this post, and it said...
I mean, honestly, a little skinny for my taste, but, it's not bad.
Something like incel-dumb is a choice. And it was a
What?
picture of this dude who was like, he's kind of ugly. Except he was jacked. He's like, I started exercising and everything changed for me. Because
I think that was like that Armstrong looking guy, Senator Armstrong.
it really is for guys about like improvement and things like that. And for women, they can certainly do things to make themselves more or less attractive.
Sure.
Some women are just naturally
Subjectively.
not that good looking. And that's a
Yeah,
challenge.
but by what metric? Because like I've seen okay, so like Katie's facial structure next to like Tina 2's facial structure, if you know Tina 2, I talk about her a lot. I'm trying to shill her channel if you couldn't tell. I think she deserves more views than she gets. But Tina 2 next to Katie's face, both of those girls are absolutely drop dead gorgeous in my opinion. And you know what? They couldn't look less alike. Okay, here, I'll show you. I'll pull up pictures. We'll pull up pictures. One sec. So here's a great one of Katie. Cute as fuck. Cute as a button. Here, actually, I'll get a better one. I like that one better. So there's Katie. Right? And then let me get Tina too. And there's Tina too. Completely different facial structures. Like the nose is entirely different. The eyes are different. Hers are a little bit more, like I can't think of a good word. So I guess slitted. And then like Katie's are way more open. Her hair's long. Katie's is short. She's got like her, like I said, her nose is a little skinnier. Katie's flares out more. But it's all good. It's all fantastic. They both look great. Okay. They both look so great, and Tina looks gorgeous, and Katie looks cute as fuck, and I love both of them, okay? And this is entirely subjective. I prefer the way Katie looks for my personal relationships, but I can also recognize Tina is drop dead gorgeous, okay? So it's entirely subjective is my point. Where's her beanie? Fair enough.
Too. I mean, it's a reality. I'm not
Tina,
trying to
get a
be mean
beanie.
here. For guys, you could be an ugly guy, but you improve yourself, get in shape, study hard, and become the best of the best in the areas you can, and you'll find
That's
love. and you'll
fine. I
succeed.
agree with that. Well,
So-
and you won't necessarily find love just by doing that. You actually have to be good at socializing as well. All right, treat women like they're people, and then you'll have a lot better shot.
Let's talk about Dylan Mulvaney. I do not like Dylan Mulvaney. I believe Dylan Mulvaney is a liar. I don't believe that
What?
Dylan Mulvaney is actually trans. I believe
What?
that Dylan Mulvaney puts on this trans face
Why?
to
Why
mock
would- why
women
would she
and
do
trans
that?
people because it gets internet clicks. Like,
No. No. See, you're concern trolling again. This is well-veiled concern trolling. You don't give a shit about trans people. You don't care about their plight. You think they're groomers. What are you talking about, Tim? You don't care. This is stupid.
the famous
Shut up. Go away.
hiking heels in the woods video.
Don't
Dylan
speak for
Mulvaney
trans
produced.
people.
Look,
You barely like them.
we have friends of the show who are transgender. Okay.
Oh, I'm
They don't
sure.
put on heels and go run through the forest going,
What if they want to? What if a woman does that? You would never criticize a woman for wearing something like this.
That's like someone
sorry,
trying to make
cis
fun
women. I apologize. It's cis women.
of them and insult them. Women also don't do this. Dylan Mulvaney had a video where it was like, now that I'm a woman, I'm going to cry for no reason, go shopping and buy things I can't afford. And it was like, you're just insulting women. Well, let's talk about Dylan Mulvaney dating. I don't care what Dylan Mulvaney does, but I'm sorry. A masculine plastic mannequin face.
What?
Look.
She looks fine. Yeah, it's got a lot of makeup on it, but she looks fine.
Dylan, in this interview, says they're struggling to date. Okay, well, I don't know the life or dating history of Dylan Mulvaney, nor do I care to investigate. But upon this story going viral...
Oh, I'm sure you don't. I'm sure you don't. Just like Matt Walsh.
Made the point. Perhaps it's because you look unattractive. You look like you're made of plastic. You're a manly, effeminate individual.
I disagree. Like... Okay, her square's a little bit more jaw than a lot of women's, but who cares?
Masculine features with
Did I say her square's a little more jaw? I mean, her jaw's a little more square.
Tall, wide shoulders and slim hips.
Sorry, I'm getting a little tired.
Tall, slender, and lanky body with a strange vocal intonation. And when I mean strange, I don't mean that in a condescending way. I mean atypical. Let me do this.
I'm not condescending you. I promise you. I'm not condescending you. I promise you. I'm not condescending you. I promise you.
One date, which I actually don't know what it is. It's like a dating website.
But
if they're highlighting this Danish study. I was reminded of The Science of Sex.
It's such a stupid
which is
study.
This documentary I saw.
So
it's really old, like 20 years old, probably.
What
you
a
can take a
nothing
picture of
burger.
a human being and show it to another human being anywhere in the world, and they will tell you whether or not they think the person is beautiful.
Sure.
And there is an average standard based upon human perception as to what is attractive and what is not.
Okay, when you say somebody's beautiful, I can think that somebody's beautiful and not find them like personally attractive to me. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't date that person, maybe, but I can still recognize the objective beauty going on there. You know what I mean? Or like, not objective, it's subjective. Subjective beauty, I should say. You know, you don't really have objective beauty. But like, that person's going to be beautiful to somebody somewhere. So it is subjective, you know? Maybe I don't find the person personally beautiful. I wouldn't date them. But they look nice. They look fine. They look like they present themselves well. I would be friends with them. And I'm sure there's somebody out there who would love to date them. And also, I don't think that occupies that much of a space in that person's mind anyway. You know? Like, it's such a weird thing to focus in on.
Well, okay. Some people have less than typical proclivities. And so long as they are legal, I mean, you know, and not harming somebody or minors, fine, I guess. You know, no animals. That's weird. But like, if a guy likes, you know, if dudes are into fat chicks, it's like, yeah, do your thing, man. You know, everybody deserves love, I guess. But on average, there is an attractive face and unattractive faces.
Why? Let's dig into that. They never want to ask the question why. They're just like, well, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. That's how it is. There was a time when fat people were more attractive. In fact, that's kind of coming back. You know, when it comes to like ladies with big asses, it used to actually be a joke to say that a woman has a fat ass. Okay? Your ass is fat. Oh, and these days it's a compliment. But you say that to some chick back in the 1960s, you'll get your fucking face slapped. You know? You want a fat ass these days, but back then you want it to be skinny as bone. Okay? They were all doing like cocaine and shit because their husbands beat them. You know, that was the look. But these days, you want a little more chunkiness. You want a fat ass. That's what I like. I like a fat ass.
For someone like Dylan Mulvaney, wondering why they're not having a date, it's because the overwhelming majority of people will look at you and say, you are gross.
Why? No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. What do you mean I'm not trying to be mean, but you're gross? What's gross about them? They got no runny nose? They got earwax built up here? They got like boogers in their eyes that are their eyes tearing up all over? No. Are they bleeding? No. You find them gross because of the way they look, because of things that they fucking can't control about themselves. Okay? And frankly, it's not that gross. You just think that it's gross because you're a pussy. What, you're going to go up to Tim Mulvaney and say, ew, you're gross, you're yucky. Ew, you're yucky, you have cooties. Ew. Shut up. You're a pussy. Go away. Nobody likes you.
I'm saying they're going to say, I am disgusted by this. The same thing with Kristen Stewart in this Miss Magazine cover. You know, for me personally,
a couple of Tim fanboys corrected me about Tim being engaged when I joked about him being single because of feminism. I never verified it myself, though. I mean, I don't really care. He's spiritually single.
I feel disgust when I see the photos of Kristen Stewart. That's
because you're a pussy.
To all the leftists who are going to whinge
I feel
and complain
nothing
about this video or whatever.
I don't give two shits in a fuck about Dylan Mulvaney. Let the girl live her life. Oh, she wants to be a girl? Okay, great. Let her be a girl. Go be the best girl you can be. Goodbye. I think she's annoying, by the way. I think Dylan Mulvaney is really fucking annoying. And I don't like her that much. But guess what? She has the right to be annoying, okay? She has the right to be annoying and cringe if she wants. All right? And if you think that's disgusting, I don't know what to tell you. I think you're disgusting for saying she doesn't have that right. We live in fucking America. Let people be cringe.
You are allowed to be disgusted by me, to call me ugly, all the names
I'm disgusted,
in the book.
yeah.
That's you. You're allowed to do that. Because
no. I'm not disgusted by you by the way you look. I'm disgusted by the things you say. Okay? You'd be fine if you just dropped this shtick. All right? Or at the very least, just be mask off about it and stop acting like you care about people, because you don't. Clearly.
People have different perspectives.
You don't give
and
a shit
opinions.
about people.
I do not think I am He-Man, most attractive Chad, or anything
Nobody
like that.
cares.
I'm not saying that at all.
I'm not either.
I'm saying that everybody has their different views. And when I see a female...
Yeah, and some of them are
with,
wrong.
You know, like a greasy face and greasy hair, and it's some mullet.
It wasn't greasy. And all to the extent that it was, she was doing a photo shoot.
And they're wearing, like, clothes that look like they came
and
out
the
of a
mullet
Goodwill.
slayed.
Again, I mean it factually and literally.
I'm sorry. Lesbian mullet slay. I'm sorry. But you know what? I'm not sorry. Lesbian mullet slay. If you're a lesbian, go get a mullet. You'll slay.
I'm not insulting her choice of clothes. I'm saying, like, it looks like they
Even
grabbed
if you're
stuff
not a
off the
lesbian,
rack
go
at
get a
a
mullet.
thrift
You'll
store.
slay.
It just looks gross to me. I'm entitled to my opinion. You're entitled to yours. Again, by all means, comment leftist.
Fine, you can think that, but that doesn't make Dylan Mulvaney gross, and you're saying that it does.
And say I'm gross. That's fine. I got crooked teeth. Yeah, I got no hair.
It's got nothing to do with that.
I'm missing a tooth, actually. Genetically missing a tooth.
I think you're gross because of your views. You're allowed to exist looking like the piece of shit that you are, just not acting like it.
I'm sure that's unattractive to a lot of people.
You can look like a piece of shit all day. Just don't act like
For
one.
the left to write this article saying that the right is terrified of this. It's like if you wrote an article being like right-wingers are not attracted to Kristen Stewart.
No, I'm not terrified of this. I don't give a shit. This study is the dumbest study that I've ever read in my entire fucking life. It was the most mediocre piece of dog shit. That wouldn't even pass a college course. Like, are you kidding me? That was a joke.
Nobody would care.
What a joke
Because
of a
it's like,
study.
she's-
You know what?
she's not
Actually,
trying to-
I want to know the people who fucking did that study. I want to see the top guy who did that. Let's see. Who is this? Stig Hebelstrup Rai Rasmussen. View other publications. See, only one? That is the only publication that this man has. The only fucking thing that he cared about. Is this him? Here, let's look him up. Here, we got it. Where and why does education matter? When and why does education matter? Motivation and resource effects and political efficacy. Genetic virulence profile of enteroaggregative Escherichia coli strains isolated from Danish children with either acute or persistent diarrhea. That sounds like a legit fucking study. Okay, but he didn't even lead this study, by the way. He was just part of it. Didn't lead this one. He did lead this one. Education or personality. Oh, this was by himself. Education or personality traits and intelligence as determinants of political knowledge. See, this guy, no. I don't believe this guy. A nationwide registry-based cohort study of incidence of tonsillectomy in Denmark, 1991 to 2012. MFH, Mary Lou. Yeah, see, he was just part of this. He didn't lead it. All the ones that he led are bullshit. Okay, dude.
Attract right-wingers. She's certainly not trying to attract me. She's gay. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that. But there is this phenomenon of, we know human beings have preference for what is attractive and what is not.
Yeah, based on social influence.
What they've done to a lot of these people,
among with various other factors,
is they've stripped them of their general human appeal, because it's a fact that exists.
But who cares?
And then bragged about it.
Give me a reason to care.
And then insulted anybody who pointed that out. I don't know. Look.
You're giving me no reason to care
about conservatives being more Christians. Conservatives being more attractive, and it's a fact.
No, it's not. No, it's not. This study doesn't prove anything. It's a shit study. I just pointed out the reasons that it's shit.
Conservatives want to be more attractive. It really comes down to that. Fat people.
Yeah, because you're cucks. Okay, you know what? Fine, I'll lend it to you. You guys are more attractive. Good job. Good job. Is that what you wanted? Is that what you wanted? You know what? I know I'm attractive. I don't need somebody to tell me that. I don't give a shit. You don't think I'm attractive? Fuck you. Yeah, I am. Who cares?
People who are unattractive just want to be fat and justify it, and they make the body positivity movement. And then people on the right are constantly trying to figure out what carbs or seed oils, whatever garbage they're not supposed to be eating. I love this. Conservatives and libertarians, seed oils are the bad thing now. It's like, cut the carbs, take more protein in, all that stuff. It's like whatever this side is, we're trying to be the best we can. And the other side is saying, accept me no matter what I do.
You can be the best you can and still be fat. That's fine. Maybe you don't maybe you don't prioritize your physical health, whatever. Okay, what of it? What of it? Maybe you don't prioritize how you look. Who cares? That doesn't necessarily have to be part of being the best you that you can be. Maybe you don't give a shit about it. Maybe the person they're dating doesn't give a shit about it. Have you ever thought about that? Who cares? Once again,
it's kind of like the masculine and the feminine, Anyway, it is what it is. Whinge more, Rolling Stone. I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm certainly not
pal, I think you got that backwards. The study's trying to say that attractiveness is objective, not subjective.
Terrified of someone. I just think,
and you're right,
we're not meant for each other. Kristen Stewart certainly doesn't find me attractive, and I'm glad she doesn't have to, and she can call me whatever names. If she came out and said, I think Tim Pool is disgusting.
Okay, but I can't sit here and be like, I want to genocide the conservatives, which is, that's not a genocide. And you are allowed to say that according to YouTube, if I recall correctly. But let's say that I were to say, I want to genocide the conservatives. And then the conservatives are like, okay, well, it's fine if you say that. But now we want to say that we want to genocide the trans people. That's not an equivalent thing, first of all. And second of all, I don't want people to be okay with me saying that I want to genocide people. That's not a thing that people should be okay with me saying. Okay? So no, I reject this.
I'd say, yeah, fair point.
Yeah, she thinks about Tim not at all.
You're gay. You don't. Good point. I assume you don't like the way I look.
Bold of you to assume that she doesn't think you're attractive. Dog, she doesn't know who you are. I don't even know who you are.
Facial hair, whatever. And I also find
that's a great meme. Somebody
to
make
be
that.
Off-putting and gross. It's not personal. I mean, I guess maybe it kind of is.
Yes, it is.
I don't hate you. I don't hate Rolling Stone. They can do whatever they want. I'm just gonna go buy magazines of the things I do like. Well, to be real, I'm not going to buy a magazine, but you get the point. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at...
God, that's terrible.
I don't know. The next segment will be coming up on this channel at some point. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.
I do this so much better than Tim Pool does it. Although I will admit that I have the crutch of watching his shitty content and bouncing off of it. But I just don't know how he pulls in the views that he does. Who gives a shit about how Kristen Stewart looks for real, man? You say that you don't care, and yet you're making an entire video on it. Yeah, see, you don't care so much, right? Kristen Stewart cover proves going woke makes people ugly. Studies prove the right is better looking. Yeah, you don't care that much, right? You have to go look up a bunk fucking study to prove that you're the pretty one. That you're the prettiest girl, right? Yeah. Okay, buddy. Yeah, 30 minutes of not caring. Alec, just Google gay attractive male, and I bet the pics are the right's idea of hot male. Probably. I'm not going to Google that, though. It'll probably bring up some pictures that I do not want. Okay, I know that it has not been a long stream, but it's been a fun one. I'm going to drop you guys off with somebody, so let's see who's live. Okay, nobody on YouTube's live that I'm following. Let's try... Twitch. Oh, Tina's probably live, yeah?
Wealth?
Oh, shit. Well, it was just wealth. I don't know why it cut off. 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you so much, Saki Tanuki. He says, I can't wait for the beanie to fly off when Dim Tool finds out he transitioned in utero. That'd be sick, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. All right, let me drop you guys off with Tina real quick. Actually, can I type /host? Let me try that. Or exclamation host. No, I don't know if that'll work. Let's just do it this way like I always do it. All right. Thank you all very much for being here. I love you all. I will be back for you guys on Tuesday. I'm going to try to do the new schedule at 1 o'clock. So it'll be 1 o'clock on Tuesdays, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And then on Fridays, it'll be 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. That is assuming I stick to the schedule. I'm hoping to stick to it, but I'm not going to promise anything yet. That's the plan, though. Thank you all again for being here. I will see you all on Tuesday. Go enjoy Tina 2 for me and say hi, okay? And give her money. Give her lots of money. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. Love you all.